Okay, so this is the very first episode of the new show slash podcast. I still don't know how I'm going to run it or turn it. It most likely is going to be a podcast slash show, and we have a weird graphic at the minute, which is also a work in progress. The graphic will change over time. That's, you know, obviously fine and dandy. That's okay. But the whole idea of the show is to look at game releases, DLCs, add-ons, all that type of stuff that is coming in, well, that is being released within the next month. So we're going to have a look at some trailers, and we're going to review the trailer, talk about it a little bit, what we think and our thoughts, and then maybe give it a rating and see which ones have the highest rating, so that way we can do like a most anticipated games list of June for this episode.
Now, I have this habit of calling myself a soothsayer with good reason. I don't think those opinions are going to be particularly glowing that I'm going to have about most of these trailers.
Yeah, and I'm also joined by friends usually, well, at least I'm hoping multiple friends. Today I've got Jason with me. We should have had two more at least, but you know, people have lives, people go on. Yeah. So Jason is no stranger to the stream. He pops up in chat quite a lot, and he also joins me for a lot of videos. And different games. The recent one we've played together is Minecraft Dungeons, which has been a lot of fun.
My job is to try and point Callum to good games.
Yeah, essentially that, yeah.
Sometimes.
But I have
Sometimes it works.
I have a habit of being like, this game looks really cool, this is going to be the next big thing, and then it's the biggest pile of shit going. Not looking at Destiny 2 in its current state, because Destiny is a good game when it wants to be, okay?
Oh boy, so, what are we looking at first?
So, oh, hold on, who we got?
We have Hermé, I believe.
Hermé's here. Oh, there we go. So we actually have another person who's meant to join us. Hermé, we've just done introductions. Feel free to introduce yourself. Same.
Welcome, Hermé, to the family-friendly stream.
He just joins and doesn't say anything.
Oh, sorry, my earphones wasn't responding.
Hermé, I'm going to send you a link quickly.
I apologize.
Oh, actually, Jason, can you just poke him with it quickly? Jason, do me a favor. Justin's here now as well. Okay, brilliant. All four of us are here. We have the boys. The squad is here. The squad is here. Very nice.
Finally here.
Oh, brilliant, boys. This is what I've been waiting for. Very excited. There we go. Justin's in as well. Beautiful.
Justin got a good name. Look
yeah,
at that.
He did. Arctic Discount. Oh. So I just explained to everyone who would be watching this on YouTube and anywhere else I post this. The whole point of this is to look at the games of the next month that are coming out, including add-ons and DLC, that type of stuff, on multiple platforms like Stadia, the Switch, Xbox, PS4, and PC, obviously. And then we'll watch the trailer, talk about it a little bit, and give it a rating, and the ones at the end of the thing will be our like most anticipated games of June. That sound good to you guys?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Most anticipated? We'll see.
Yeah, it's probably going to be... Yeah, it'll be...
Yeah.
Okay, and moving on to the next one, of course, is a pretty big one of the year so far. We've had a closed beta, you know, there was about 2 million people watching on Twitch trying to get access for quite a while.
Oh, Valorant!
Valorant is out in June, comes out June 2nd, full launch for the world.
Fuck me.
Wait, is this trailer launching, or like have you launched it? I don't know.
No. I haven't put anything in. What I'm going to do quickly before we actually watch the next trailer. So we're going to talk about Valorant. Right. So far out of the four of us who have actually played it, it's just me and Justin. So Justin, why don't you talk about your experience with the game so far?
Okay, so I don't know. It's very much like CS:GO and well, CS:GO Overwatch, isn't it? Overwatch, is that what we're calling it? Anyway,
Overwatch.
The CS:GO Overwatch. I don't know. It seems like a very, I'd say, balanced at the minute. There's clearly some imbalances with characters and whatnot. Like obviously people complain about raids and stuff. But you know, then you got characters like Sage who people don't complain about, despite the fact that she has a high win rate. I mean, it's all going to take some time to get into balance and whatnot. From what I've seen, though, a lot of CS:GO players do claim it's still not as fun as CS:GO. I don't know about that because I never really got into CS:GO. But yeah, no, overall, pretty good competitive game, especially if you can get a 5-man together.
Hey everyone, I'm Anna.
Okay, I'd agree with that. Yeah, the game's a lot of fun. I actually prefer it over CS:GO. Considering I played CS for quite a long time, I've got about 3,000 hours into it. Hit Global Elite twice. Jason, can you just share that link around, please?
Thing.
So yeah, so like I say, hit Global Elite twice on that game, started grinding out Face It, which is where everyone goes afterwards. It's not a bad game. Valorant is, for me personally, is what I prefer, because I liked Overwatch and the idea of it with the hero shooter, but obviously they don't know how to run Overwatch correctly. So for me, having right support and actually giving updates to the game more often and talking to the community about them is something that drives me towards Valorant more than any other competitive shooter out there right now. Especially, yeah.
I do think it is unique in the fact that CS:GO has like this thing where you can adaptably fill any role like throughout the game. You can change, same as like Overwatch to an extent, but you're locked by your hero. Valorant has that sort of thing where you need to kind of like lock in your hero at the start. You need to make a kind of game tactic and dedicate yourself to it from the very start of the game.
Yeah, I do agree that there are some certain characters that are must-pick. Sage is definitely a must-pick character if you're playing the game. They've also put on Twitter just a few minutes ago, Justin, they're like, this is what people do in Brazil to play Valorant. And it's like a little short montage, quite actiony, quite hype, basically, with, the music and the action-packed clips. But at the end, they show off the face and the chest of the new character that's coming out for launch. So I'll have to send you that shortly. But we're going to just show the trailer that they put out. I say trailer, it was like a 56-second video of Anna and I think it was Joe Ziegler, the devs, talking about the game, and there was like a short little cinematic, which kind of shows that we're also getting cinematics with Valorant, like they do for League of Legends, which is kind of a nice thing. So I'm going to just post the link back in this new sync video. Can everyone see important news on Valorant's launch date?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's all synced. If I click that, it makes it bigger, and if I click that, we'll just move over to that. Right. So I'm hoping when I click play now, it should be working for everyone. Just let me know if it doesn't.
Hey
Is it live?
I'm Anna
Is it playing?
and I'm the executive
Brilliant.
producer of Valorant.
And I'm Joe Ziegler, the game director.
First, we want to thank all of you for coming on this journey with us. All of you, even those of you that are still waiting to play, are the beginnings of a global community of players that we hope to serve for years or maybe even decades to come.
Your excitement for Valorant inspires us every day, and we've been looking forward to sharing this game with everyone.
So I'll get right to it. Earlier this year, when we revealed Valorant, we also announced a very aspirational launch date of summer 2020.
And we've been wanting to get you this game to help brighten these tough times. But as it turns out, we're not going to be launching this game in a few months.
Because we're launching it in a few weeks.
That was the cringiest fucking thing I've seen in such a long time. Oh my goodness. What was it? Because we're launching it in a few weeks. Come on, lady.
I have to focus. He did say to brighten these times. I don't think they understand what salt is.
Okay, so my opinion on this game is slightly not very good. I don't like the hero shooter genre at all. I feel it's a shit genre of games in general. Paladins, Overwatch, those are the two games that come to mind. Rainbow Six Siege as well, but I'll get to Siege. Those two games seriously get on my tits. I can't play it because you know what? No one ever wants to play the support role, right? Or everyone always just wants to play the fucking Reaper that gets the mega ult that kills the entire team. And he's like, yes, look at me. I'm God the Reaper, right? But no one looks at the Anna at the back that Nano boosted him, right?
Right.
So it's a team game, but no one ever wants to play the support role. So what you can end up with is matches where people just pick the carry role, which is why CS:GO is a nice competitive shooter in my opinion, because everyone is equal in CS:GO.
Yeah, I can see that.
So case in point, the salt.
But CS:GO, even if I do well and I win a CS:GO game, I feel like I want to smash my face against the table because I am so salty.
Yeah, but that's one thing I find playing after a long time CS:GO as well. Because everyone's so equal, Herme, if you like say, let's say you hit a 40 bomb in a game, right? You could still lose that game.
Yeah. No,
because
100%.
everyone on your team might not have the same skill as you, and you could lose the game even when you're doing really well. Whereas in Overwatch, it still has that carry potential for one person if they play that hero especially well. Especially if they pick that DPS character.
I just don't like the hero, the ability shooter genre. Rainbow Six Siege did it well, in my opinion. Whereas
No,
the
behave yourself.
abilities that are introduced into the game aren't introduced in such a manner that they are game-changing abilities. You know?
I think the Siege community would disagree with you, and also I think Clash would disagree with you. Remember when we made that meme video and I was like, yeah, they're going to introduce a shield operator on defense, and then 2 days later they actually did, and I lost my mind.
Okay, but shield ops are just in general absolute bullshit.
Yes, they are. But Siege still added them, and there's multiple since. But also, like I was saying, how the devs listen, right? They put a post up on Twitter. Jason, you're going to love this one. And I think, Justin, you'll also quite appreciate this. So, Valorant Closed Beta was an opportunity for us to learn that what worked and what didn't, and what you need from us to have the best experience playing Valorant. With your help, that's what we've been accomplishing in the last 2 months. Thanks to players around the world for joining in. And then they show here all the stats and figures. So they say 383 bug fixes were from direct player reports. 17 data centers stood up around the world. I believe they're adding more data centers. I think we're actually getting one in the UK. And 2,409 server crashes throughout the closed beta. Then they come to say how you helped make a better game. 1,254 bugs fixed overall during the time of the closed beta. Over 1,000. That's nuts.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're not doing a good job in the game. The game can be brilliant. It can run brilliantly. It can look brilliant. It can be balanced as all hell. I feel like almost any game with a support class is already difficult because no one ever wants to support.
But then they also said that they had 6 patches / redeploys in the closed beta, and they had 7,786 cheater accounts caught trying to get back into the game after they were hardware banned.
Well, that's cheaters for you. They'll stop at nothing to keep on cheating.
Oh, fucking hate hackers.
So overall
Everybody
then,
does.
ratings for Valorant.
Well, personally, because I've played it, in terms of competitive shooters, it's my favourite so far. Absolutely, it's the one I've got the most into.
So what number would you give it out of 10, Justin?
Yeah, probably 9, maybe a 10.
Ooh.
Like I say, for the genre, it dominates it for me, in my opinion.
Right. So do you want to put you down as a 9 or a 10?
We'll go with a 10, shall we? We'll be generous.
Okay, okay. Right. What about you, Hermé? Since you don't like your hero shooters.
I don't like hero shooters, but I haven't played the game, so I feel like my opinion is probably not going to be good. But I'll give it a 7 because it looks like they've put in some decent work. I feel like it's a well-rounded game.
Okay.
And it's probably going to be good.
And you, Jason?
Look, to say that Valorant is a competitive shooter game is to kind of slap the face of all competitive shooter games out there that aren't CSGO or Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, what you got to remember is Counter-Strike really spawned its own thing where people were literally putting tape on their screens and marking out the spray pattern of guns. And they were remembering precisely how many seconds it would take for the terrorists or counter-terrorists to pass the double doors, and they would start shooting preemptively. It really did change the game, and Rainbow Six Siege did the same thing. For me personally, I don't feel like Valorant is doing enough to set itself apart. If you ask me, I think, and this is speaking from someone who hasn't played it, so take it with a pinch of salt. Some of the powers look cool and unique. Others feel like they're just a replacement for Counter-Strike's grenade system. I do like what Riot is doing for the communities, as you said, and they are showing a lot of support. For me, I would say, on the level of fun factor that this looks like, and taking into account everything Hermé said, I'm very much in agreement with him on this. Playing games like that, yeah, more of the fun is in winning rather than playing the game, being how competitive that they are.
Yeah.
I would go straight with, to be fair with them, because of the work they put in the community support, I would go with 8, but if not for that, I think I'd go with a 7.
Okay, I'll put you down for 8. Personally, I give it a 9. I'm very hyped for this game. I cannot wait. what are we calling it? Go for Overwatch, yeah. But yeah, I'm very
CS:GO Overwatch.
Yeah, I made a bit of a present for you there, Justin.
in the IMGA. Let's have a look. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I'm very hyped for Valorant. I cannot wait for launch day. And it would actually be nice to be able to play with people, because I think that's the only reason why I haven't given it a 10, right? Is because of the ranked system, not allowing people to play in 5-man groups in ranked at any rank. Like, we were all very close to ranks. Justin had one game at the start that was just bad after doing keeping up to level with me, and I could no longer play with him after that one game because the ranks are so versatile, and they're like, right, if you're 6 ranks different, you can't play with each other.
Oh,
so
right.
I think
no, change me to a 7 then, thank you.
Change you to a 7. Right,
That's
okay.
AIDS.
No,
Yeah,
sorry,
no, it
Jason
is.
can only take your first answer. Valorant has an 8 now.
Oh, no.
This one's a bit of an odd one. The next one after that comes out June 4th on PC, PS4, Xbox, and it's like a weird bundle. I believe it's Tour de France 2020 and Pro Cycling Manager. I obviously don't know enough of cycling games. I didn't realize people actually kind of bought them. Well, obviously there must be a very small niche in that market, considering they're making the games.
Stop quickly. Did you say this is a Tour de France game?
Yes.
Fuck off. Let's go to the next one. Why would you want to play that?
A Larry King simulator where you just listen to Larry King read you children's stories would be more entertaining than that.
No, dude. Why would anyone want to play Tour de France? I mean,
I'm gonna
like
stick the trailer in.
Forza. Like,
Can you?
oh my goodness, he's gonna fall over. No!
Wait, hang on. I can imagine this will be fun if doping is a game mechanic, you know? Like you have to avoid the cops and go for the regular tests and make sure your chemical balance is right.
If you're a cyclist, you're probably like, holy shit, sounds like the best idea ever, right? And I mean, to those people, yes, but how many people do you guys actually know that cycle and play games?
Yeah, that's my point. Like I say, it's a very niche market. So I'm gonna click play. You guys might want to do the same. Okay, I'm not gonna click play. I think the trailer's actually so broken. Oh no, it's playing now for me. Okay.
It's playing.
It's playing for me too.
Can we run over the people?
This guy seems very... How can they make this trailer very intense by showing like a man in the rain?
Is this the game, or is this just real life?
I think it's a mix of both.
Because that
I think this is the game. I think the people are real life. Like, if not, then the graphics.
No, that's holy fuck! No, that's horrible.
That's real life.
It looks like it's made by a cyclist. Fuck off.
Did everybody notice the guy just fall over there? Hold on, why? This is Tour de France. Why is the guy in the car getting his shoulder pad?
I love how the only interesting parts of that were the real parts from real footage, and every time it switched back to game footage, you see these rigid plastic dolls on these bikes. It's like pedal.
Okay. So firstly, I don't want to shit on people who do cycling. Like, dude, I know it's a hectic sport, right? Like any sport, it's a hectic sport, right? And people do get incredibly injured within cycling. I've seen it. It's really actually hectic. But from a spectator's view, right? It's a pretty fucking boring sport, like golf. I mean, the only people who ever enjoy watching golf is my dad, and then he falls asleep. Anyway, and then, don't try and change that channel. He will shit a brick, even though he's asleep. But I think cycling is exactly the same. But I feel like golf might even be a better game than cycling, to be honest. Like, at least I can see myself playing a bit of golf.
All I'm saying is golf with your friends is a lot better than that.
I mean, like, when it switched over to game footage, it was fucking night and day.
It looked a bit like those old car mobile games, didn't it?
It looked dog shit, and I really don't think this is the next big thing. So I feel like this game should have just died in the early development stages. People should have been like, this is a bad idea.
Oh, yeah, okay, so...
I mean, I'll eat my words, I'll eat my left testicle if this thing takes off.
Okay, so let's just get through this one, because clearly it's not a very good game. Ratings out of 10. Jason, starting with you.
Right, well, this is something that I would rate on the same scale as big rigs over the road racing. I'm not sure if you're
No.
familiar with big rigs.
Yeah, I know what Big Rig's the greatest game of all time.
The greatest game. So I'm gonna go ahead and
There's
say,
no other
you know,
game quite like Big Rigs. Just gonna throw that in. That's what you said about Sea of Thieves.
exactly. And this looked a little bit like NASCAR from the top down as well. But here's the thing, in the video, and while you're playing this game, you have to be a cyclist, and just for that, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a solid 2. There's
solid
still
2.
room to get worse, but not much.
Alright, Justin, you're next.
Well, I just like to throw out there now. I don't want to point any fingers, but how they mixed the actual Tour de France footage and the gameplay footage, I think they're trying to catch some people off by making the game look better than what it is. So I'm going to give it a 1. Like, the cycling audience probably aren't that much into games, and I think it could easily catch some people out. I'm not sure. The game does look pretty terrible compared to the footage. We noticed it straight away, but
Very true.
I
Very
think how they
true.
mixed it all together, they're trying to catch some people.
Right, what about you, Hunmei?
No, that's dog shit. I'll give it a 0 out of 10, dude. Honestly. This is like, I'll never forget it. I watched this one episode. I watch the weirdest shit sometimes, but I watched this episode of Shark Tank. I believe that's what it's called, where
Okay.
people pitch the ideas. So this one British bloke came in and he was like, "Oh, I made this pot," and they were like, "What's it for?" So basically, what you do is it's like a measuring jug, and it gives you exactly the amount of water for 1 cup of tea. So then you take this jug, you fill it up to 1 cup, and you throw it into the kettle, and then the kettle boils 1 cup of tea instead of like 3 cups of tea, wasting energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there and I was like, that's the most fucking goddamn useless thing I've ever seen in my life. Never is anyone ever gonna take out, oh, here's my tea measurement cup. Let me measure out the water to throw into the kettle to boil to make 1 cup of tea. This game's the same. Like, who's gonna play this? No one. No one's gonna fucking play this.
Like I said, I think it might be a niche within a niche. So I feel like it would be a game that if your son owns an Xbox and you're like 36 years old and you're like, oh, you know, I'm gonna dabble in a game maybe, and you've just seen this while picking up a game for him for like Christmas or something, and like, oh, cycling, I do a bit of that. Let's try the game out, and then you buy it for like £2, you know.
£2. This better cost
Yeah.
£2.
What would be the appeal of Tour de France? Because I'm assuming it's a racing game, but it's not very intense racing, so I'd assume the environments you're in, but you don't
Well,
even...
surely it'd just be France.
Yeah, well, they don't
No.
show a lot of that off in the
Hang on.
trailer, though, do
What is
they?
the price? Have we got the price?
Oh, let me go and find out.
Okay,
While
yeah,
he's doing that,
let's see-
Justin, what's the
let's
price
see
of a
the price.
cheeseburger?
£1 in the UK for a
One
cheeseburger.
£1.
One Great British pound. So, how much is Tour de
How many
France simulator cost?
cheeseburgers can we
Um,
buy for the Tour de France simulator?
I'm checking for Tour de France 2020, and I'm not finding it. Maybe it will be on Amazon. Okay, I just shipped myself for a little bit there. I saw Tour de France season 2019, £45.
Oh no. Is that real?
It's on Amazon, so it must be.
So who was it
Yeah,
just
but-
now?
Oh,
said
hold
you
on.
buy it
Okay,
for your
here we
father?
go. Tour de France 2020, Xbox One and PS4, £44.99.
No.
That's
no.
44 cheeseburgers.
Well,
That's what
it's
that is.
45, yeah.
1p off.
You know how
£45,
drunk I can get for
so-
£45? And how many cheeseburgers I can have afterwards? Fuck that. No. No.
Like, I could buy my friend, 44 of my friends, 1 cheeseburger to share, and myself 44 cheeseburgers.
And you'd get more enjoyment from that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'd actually
Oh
enjoy
god,
it for
he's
one.
cycling forwards! Oh god! Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm
Okay, so I think that's enough of Tour de France. We're going to move on to the next one, which is a Nintendo Switch game. Comes out on the 5th of June, and it is called 51 Worldwide Games.
Wait, is that a trailer for 51 different games, or is there a game called 51
It's a
games?
game called 51 Worldwide Games that has multiple worldwide games in it.
Alright, everyone, get your toilets ready.
Just-
Right,
just-
I've clicked.
Just give me
Oh.
2 seconds.
Yeah,
Just
mine's
2 seconds.
taking a minute to load as well.
I'm having technical difficulties with making a cup of coffee.
Well, I hope this 51 Worldwide Games has Kazoo in it.
Okay. Oh fuck. I can already see this is gonna be a load of shit. Okay, start it off.
Right,
I'm
okay.
ready. Everyone else is.
I'm going back to 0 seconds and I'm going to click play.
Is Pitbull going to be in this, seeing as he's Mr. Worldwide?
Don't think so.
It's got the very Nintendo music to it already.
Yeah.
Presenting every single game included in this massive new collection of fun from around the globe. Menkala, Hanafuda, Backgammon, Renegade, Drops, President, Dominoes, Speed, Hare and Hounds, Blackjack, 4 in a row, Chess, Shogi, Mini Shogi, Ludo, Richi Mahjong, Sevens, Golf, Darts, Texas Hold'em, 9 Men's Morris, Air Hockey, War, Carom, Chinese Checkers, Yacht Dice, Takoyaki, Billiards, Hex, Spider Solitaire, Gomoku, Matching, Bowling, Shooting Gallery, Slot Cards, Dots and Boxes, Hit and Blow, Pig's Tail, Mahjong Solitaire, Last Card, Fishing, Klondike Solitaire, Toy Tennis, Toy Football, Toy Curling, Toy Boxing, Toy Baseball, Battle Tanks, Team Tanks, Sliding Puzzle, and 6-Ball Puzzle. Phew, that really is 51 games. And there are many ways to play them. Some games are multiplayer, including options for up to 4 people, playing via local wireless, and in some cases, online play is supported too. Choose 3 games, match up with other players, and just play. Play to your heart's content against rivals the world over. When 51 Worldwide Games launches on Nintendo Switch June 5th. Pre-orders begin today.
Alright, Callum, sorry, what year is it?
Okay, so let me just say something, right? It's got better graphics than Tour de France. Firstly. Secondly, if my mom was a dude and she saw this now, she would have a stiffy. Like.
So what you're telling me is this appeals to people who are salty about Tour de France and elderly women who wish they could get boners.
Yes.
Brilliant.
That's exactly. Like, my mother loves like playing mobile games on her overly sized tablet thingamabob that I don't even know what it does. And she likes playing games like these, stupid games. And she really enjoys it. So, I mean, honestly, she would love it. I wouldn't, but she would.
I don't know about you, Hame. I find mothers across the country generally tend to be, or at least in my experience, tend to be, money savers, rather frugal. Like, you don't tell them how much your video games cost because you know they won't approve.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saying, the man in that trailer had a lot of enthusiasm when he announced that if you had 4 Switches nearby, you could play 4 players with one of these.
Let me just console my firstborn so I can play some Switch with my friends.
So what are you playing? Oh, you're playing a card game. What's it cost for the deck of cards?
Oh, you can play bowling with your friends there, boys. What about that?
Bowling in my ass! This is the type of thing you release for free with your console, so people have something to play while they wait for the real games to download.
Not being funny, Wii Sports was literally free on the Wii. Like, it literally came with the Nintendo Wii.
Oh,
How much
yeah.
does this cost? How much does this cost?
Let me find out.
Let's exclude the Switch cost. Let's say you've already got a Switch, and you're like, my mom is bothering me in quarantine time. I want to get her off my back, and you want to buy this for her. How much are you going to pay?
51 worldwide games.
Scale.
51 worldwide
scale.
games cost £34.99, so 35 cheeseburgers.
Fuck off.
It'll take her longer to eat the cheeseburgers than to play all those games.
So ratings out of 10, starting with you, Jason.
Listen, some of those are genuinely proper games, but I'm giving this a 3 because that's you know, that's something you drop for free, or you at least include some kind of. I don't know. You got to give me. They say 54 like it's a big deal, but I can promise you, I can go down to the Chinese shop on Main Road. I can walk to their ripped off console section, and I can buy a PlayStation handheld device with 400 colorless games on them for like $50, and that's 50 South African bucks, which is about one cheeseburger in your money.
Okay.
You also have Spider Solitaire on there, and that's like on every PC.
Man, I'll get Pac-Man on mine as well. Bootleg Pac-Man, but Pac-Man all the same.
So Justin, what are you rating it?
Well, here's my biggest issue. Okay, so 51 worldwide games, sure they're fun, but guarantee every single 51 of those you're gonna get a smartphone app for free on it. Really, aren't you? Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So I would give it a 1 out of 10, but they called Connect 4 in a row, so I'm gonna give it 0 out of 10.
I didn't know our scale could go to 0. If we're gonna include 0 in our scale of
No, 0 is Tour de France. that's what 0 is.
I mean, I'm not gonna get a Switch and then pay £35 51 worldwide games I can get on my phone for free. And who doesn't have a smartphone nowadays?
All right,
Do you guys not have phones?
Yo, boy. Look,
Oh,
my
Lord.
rating's only going to stay at 3 if they have tutorials. If
Like-
I have to look up how to play those Mahjong, there's not going to be a good time.
Surely they must have some sort of tutorial on there.
Didn't they call Uno Lost Card? I'm pretty sure they called Uno Lost Card.
Yeah, but I think that's
because
because
they
Uno's also copyrighted, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, let's just use Uno without licensing it, boys. 51 worldwide games.
Go on then, Herme. Rating out of 10.
I'll give it a 3 just because I think my mom would like it.
I'm gonna give it a 3 as well. I think it's just those games that you play on holiday, and the fact that I guess you can also play with someone on it multiplayer is a bit of an advantage, which is boosts it from a 1 to a 3.
See, here's our problem. We don't have friends to play it with.
I mean, like, if you buy that game, let's be honest, you're not going to play it with anyone else, because you're going to be the only one of your friendship group that buy it.
All your friends are busy
And you
playing
will
Sea
be
of
bullied,
Thieves, and they're
yeah.
used to playing solitaire on your Switch.
All I'm thinking is, okay, they promote the whole multiplayer thing. Not being funny, but if I've got a mate who's got a Switch, I'm going to be playing like Super Smash Bros. Brawl with him or something. I'm not going to be playing blackjack with him.
You'll be playing blackjack with him for his Switch.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be playing blackjack with a deck of cards.
Fair. Very good point. Very good point. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next one. So this is also quite an old game. It's a remastering of a very popular one. It says here it's the 25th anniversary edition.
Oh no.
So I think you guys would know it. It is an EA game as well. It is the Command and Conquer Remastered.
Oh yes.
What's what?
That changes things.
Command and Conquer Remastered.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Let's see. I think I've heard about this actually.
Alright, I'm clicking play.
Oh, before we start,
Oh, okay,
I just
moving on.
like to throw out there, I'm a bit worried. Like, I didn't know they were remastering this, but the Warcraft 3 remaster has not received good feedback at all.
Oh no, people hated it.
Oh yeah, but
Hang
that's
on,
also
you do have
Blizzard.
to acknowledge that that's because Blizzard said, oh, and as part of our remaster, we're claiming intellectual property of all the fan-made content that you want to port over.
Well, I've seen a side-by-side comparison, and yeah, the old Warcraft 3 does look better than, and a guy made a mod in StarCraft 2 which looks phenomenal, and especially compared to the new Warcraft 3.
Actually, I think I heard someone said something about this Command and Conquer. I can't remember who it was or where I heard it, but someone said something to me, and they said that this game will be completely open to modify, to mod, to do whatever. And
That was me. I told
was
you
it
that.
you?
Yep.
Oh, yes. So Jason,
Okay,
you
that
can
makes
explain
it a
that
little
now,
more
but
appealing.
that makes it sound good.
Okay, so let's watch the trailer first. I'll explain what they leave out after.
Okay, I'm going to click on play now then.
Your efforts have landed us here, my faithful friend. The temple is complete,
Goodness.
and we are about to embark upon our greatest exploit.
You're in for one hell of a ride.
Hey everyone, it's Jim Vasella, aka Jim Turn, and I'm pleased to take you through this official look at the Command & Conquer Remastered Collection, featuring the complete games of Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert, along with their 3 expansion packs. Released in 1995, Command & Conquer defined the RTS genre.
But we need your help now.
Today, I'm going to take you through the complete package that players will experience, from the gameplay to cinematics, music collaborations, and bonus features. But let's start with the community's incredible support.
Nice job.
In addition to the amazing
Okay, that's a
teams at
bit
Petrol
cringy for me,
Games and
straight off the
Lemon Sky
bat there.
Studios, including some of the key members of the original Westwood team, we knew we couldn't remaster these iconic games without you, the community. On day one of the project, we publicly reached out to the community for your feedback. We formed a community council who has had 24-hour direct access to the development team throughout the entire project. And some community members have even created some of the key content that will be in the final game.
I hope I can trust you with this.
Oh, just stop.
CNC and Red Alert have been fully remastered to run at a beautiful 4K resolution. Every unit and structure has been rebuilt. We've even created a feature in solo mode, allowing you to toggle between the legacy and remastered graphics in real time. In addition to the over 100 original campaign missions, we've also included the Spec Ops missions from the console versions and other secret treats. Based on community feedback, we've completely overhauled the sidebar UI and created new flows for mission selection, controls, hotkeys, and much more. CNC's signature full-motion video cinematics have all been upscaled in resolution and feature newly remastered sound for the optimal experience.
You're the new addition to the Brotherhood.
In addition to the campaigns, the multiplayer has been entirely rebuilt for a modern experience. Choose from custom games or 1v1 quick match, all with an ELO-based matchmaking system and in-game leaderboard. The CNC and Red Alert soundtracks are legendary, and there was only one person who could remaster them with justice, the original composer, Frank Klepacki. Frank has remastered over 7 hours of music, including hidden and unreleased tracks from the original games. As a special highlight, the collection also includes over 20 face-melting tracks newly recorded by Frank Klepacki and the Tiberian Sons.
Tiberian Sun has risen!
Your entire soundtrack can then be customized via the enhanced in-game jukebox. We've also jam-packed the remastered collection with a ton of bonus features and content. For the complete list of features, be sure to check out our website at commandandconquer.com. We can't wait to see you on the battlefield, but for now, I'll simply leave you with this.
Welcome back, Commander.
That camera's still running.
Okay, boys, so, what?
I give it a 10. Alright, okay. Okay, so before you lads give your thoughts, let me help influence. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna influence your decisions a bit here, right? So what you got to remember is this game released in the year I was born, 1995. I grew up playing the Command & Conquer games. This is actually what got me into gaming as a kid. I was sitting at the age of 6 busy playing Command & Conquer, you know? Other kids had proper video game consoles. We had a computer at the time. That was a disadvantage. It meant you were poor. But no, I'm really glad that I grew up playing Command & Conquer. This gave birth to the entire RTS genre. StarCraft can owe its existence to games like Command & Conquer. And this is the very first one as well. This is the first game being remastered. And I think in this remaster, they brought into it a lot of the features of the games that followed it that everyone really liked. And I think that this is, you know, EA's first chance to try and redeem the Command & Conquer series. I don't know how many of you have followed the Command & Conquer series, but at E3 some years ago, they announced that we were getting a new Command & Conquer game. The fans held their breaths and they revealed it was a mobile game, and that went over about as well as when Diablo was converted to mobile. So you can imagine how we were all feeling, especially considering that the third Command & Conquer game left us on a big cliffhanger, and the fourth has just decided, screw it, we're going to make this a live service, online-only game and change all the mechanics. Now, the reason for this is because EA did the same thing they did to Maxis Studios. You might remember them as the people that made the original 2 Sims games. And, you know, EA has this reputation for absorbing companies, destroying them, and then shitting all over their games. Kind of like what they did to The Sims. They did that to Command & Conquer. It was originally made by Westwood Studios. Now, the guys from Westwood Studios, when Westwood was eventually bought and disbanded by EA, they moved over and formed Petroglyph Studios, and I think they made games like Grey Goo. I could be wrong. I don't know if they were the guys behind Grey Goo. Someone will have to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But Petroglyph, you know, they're the original guys. They knew what they were doing here. The fact that EA, in an effort to redeem the Command & Conquer series, brought back not only the guys who made the original games, but also the original composer and his band, the Tiberian Sons, to remaster some of the most epic tracks from the decade that the game was released in, that speaks wonders. The fact that they kept an entire community council talking to folks on Reddit the whole time with 24-hour access to the dev team, that's the type of thing that CNC needed to be revived. And honestly, I think this is just going to be the litmus test for how much interest there still is in Command & Conquer, because if this goes well, I don't think they're going to stop with this. I think they're going to move on to Tiberian Sun and to Red Alert 2, which were the really popular games. Finally, you know what Call of Duty 2 still costs on Steam?
Gone.
Huh?
In South African money, it's 300 Rand. Call of Duty 2, 2005.
Holy fuck, that's expensive.
This
Why is it
Command
not free?
Conquer, yeah, exactly. Why is it not free? And you can't even buy COD 4 anymore. I don't think they're like, no, you got to buy the remaster now for $1,000. This, meanwhile, is going to cost you only $350. Command & Conquer Remastered, with all this glorious things they've put in it. It's going to be that cheap. I've already pre-ordered it. I have a rule against pre-ordering things. I broke it for this. Granted, they might still screw up, but I have faith. You know, this is the childhood I've wanted to return to. And the big thing, the whole thing's open source. It's open source, completely free to be modded by everyone who wants to mod it, and they're going to be adding mod tools and looking to Steam Workshop on release. The fact that they've gone that far, and an EA game coming to Steam with that whole release. It's almost as if someone went to whatever eldritch monster is at the head of EA and just pried it off for long enough for them to actually show some love for their community for the first time in years and make this. And for that, this is, I think, the shooting star that you see once in a blue moon going across the sky. This is a rare event, and I'm very excited.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't live in South Africa, that will cost you £17.99 on Steam.
So, Jason, did you ever play Command & Conquer 4?
I did. That was the one that I was talking about where EA completely broke the game and decided they were going to throw out all the mechanics and just try some live service online garbage. I actually have the box in my hand right now.
I bought it as well. I think I probably do have it somewhere in the cupboard or something as well. I bought it and I was severely disappointed because I remember playing Command & Conquer as a younger person as well, and I really genuinely did enjoy playing Command & Conquer. I've got one or two comments though. Could they not take out the fucking cringy videos of the people with the cigars and the guns, dude? Like, honestly, that's one thing they could have removed.
The cringe is part of the community. Remember the FMV things, the Tex Murphy series, all sorts of games from the 90s were known for their whole FMVs because they didn't really have animated people to do stuff like this back then. But even then, it's part of the charm of it, If you played Red Alert 3...
So even though I've never played Command & Conquer, and I will admit it was cringy, but it was kind of cool seeing people there pretending to be, I don't know, bloody that bad guy off of Avengers or something, trying to copy off him. Not copy off him, but...
I'll say this, Justin. It's got a very Austin Powers effect when you see it actually in the game. Like, it feels like it's cringe on purpose. And they actually released the blooper reels with the games. You can see how much fun they had making this shit. It's really, really good. I love it. That's one of the things you find that people love. It's those old FMVs.
I'll tell you now, Jason, just from the trailer we watched there, you can definitely see how much love has gone into it. Because they've gone into so much effort remastering, every object in the game. Remastering the cutscenes as well, so they're higher graphics. Then going out of their way for the sound. What do they say? The guy remastered 7 hours of music.
And the Tiberian Sons.
And then that also includes the music they added on top of that with his band as well. You can see that obviously this is a very big thing for the community for Command & Conquer. And obviously this is one of EA's golden childs right now, or they're hoping it's going to be the next big hit for them. Which is good for people who enjoy the series. And if I had to rate it as well, just of that, the trailer and what I watched there, I'd probably have to give it an 8. I wouldn't play it myself, but I can see how much someone who loves the series would appreciate that.
And see, I'm hoping that it's going to be accessible to newcomers as well, because obviously the audience, you can see the whole marketing of the trailer is for people like me. They basically served this to me on a silver platter with that steaming, delicious smell under my nose, and it releases next week, and I can't wait.
Also, it's on Steam.
And it's on Steam.
Yeah.
I mean, what more could a man want? 2020 coronavirus. This is a bright spark in a dark time. I'm really happy about this, and I'm hoping that the fact that they've completely overhauled the UIs and the multiplayer experience to allow for competitive online matchmaking in a game where some of the first competitive gaming tournaments in the whole world was people meeting up in LAN halls to play this game together for prizes. It's really surreal to think this is coming to competitive multiplayer matchmaking, and I'm hoping that, if nothing else, is able to get newcomers to look past the old retro style and see the glory that is this game in its history.
Okay, so Justin and Hermé, what would you rate it out of 10?
Well, I pretty much agree with you, Callum. Like, you can see they've clearly put a lot into it. I'm going to give it an 8 because it doesn't look like just a standard remaster. It looks like EA's gone the extra mile with this one.
And you, Hermé?
I'd also give it an 8.
Damn, boys, that's high ratings.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be not bad.
Of course, watch Murphy's Law come kick us in the ass when we find out EA has done something horrible next week when it releases.
Yeah, all those features they just talked about, you got to pay for.
By £18, it meant £18 a month.
They could have made it look a little bit better, a little bit, but
I think because it's a remaster as well, I feel like if they did that, it would take away from the charm of the old game, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm expecting to see some fantastic mods for this. They actually showed in a video a week ago that they're releasing the game with one mod that they've already made, just to they made some nuclear tank for one of the factions just to show people what you can do with the mods. And Hermé, I don't know if you played Command & Conquer Generals series.
I can't remember what I played. I was very young when I played it.
It was the Arabs versus the Americans versus the Chinese. It wouldn't be a game that would be allowed in today's political climate, but it was a very interesting game all the same. And people modded the hell out of that, being that it was one of the more moddable engines, to literally bring all the other Command & Conquer games into it. CNC has a huge modding community. People have made whole expansion packs for the newer games. I reckon they're going to mod this back into a modern game easy, especially with it being open source.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the next game is a bit of a weird one, actually. It is called Deck of Ashes. It launches on PC. It comes out June 9th, and it is made... Well, it says here, Deck of Ashes is an adventure game with tactical card combat. One character at a time. Is this the one with the train? I'm not sure, but it says one character at a time. Lead the cast of anti-heroes on a quest for redemption. Explore the cursed fantasy world and hunt down powerful cards. Forge a unique battle deck and crush your foes. This releases on the 9th of June, and I shall put the trailer in now. Right, there we go. Clicking play. There we go. Oh, it's not going to play for me, is it? There we go.
Hey.
The outcasts. It's all your fault. Your hatred and lust for power brought the Ash Curse upon us all. The flames, they cannot lie. They revealed to me a path to our salvation. And in that vision, I saw... You are the only ones who can break the curse. One by one, I shall find you all. I shall guide you across the cursed lands teeming with hideous abominations. One step at a time, you will unleash your power. My people will heal your wounds and help you survive. And you shall destroy the filth that stands in our way.
Hold on, did anybody just notice one of the enemies there had her tits out?
That's it, 10 out of 10.
Well, now your stream is quite like other streams.
The flames, they cannot lie. The Ash Curse must be broken. At any cost.
Okay, so that was a bit of an odd one, boys.
How much does it cost?
I'll find out now when it loads up on Steam.
Now we're gonna have regional pricing. We're gonna check out.
It is an early access game.
Cheeseburger system.
And I think. Sorry, carry on, Justin.
Yeah, I was just saying, just use a cheeseburger system if you want to convert prices. It's, you know, it's flawless.
Alright, so it comes out on Steam June 9th, apparently. But it is out already in early access for £11.39.
Oh, 105 Rand for us.
Oh, that's actually cheaper for us than it is for you.
Yeah, a lot cheaper.
But yeah, it's they seem to make the art style very sexualized on the women in the game, clearly, to the point where I'm pretty sure one of the enemies had her tits out. And I think, like, obviously a lot of people who enjoy their card games and also enjoy indie games and this type of adventure, like stylized art, I think for them this could be a very good game. It's got mostly positive reviews on Steam as well, so it seems like a lot of people do enjoy it. It's not like it's a bad game.
I don't think it's a bad game. I feel like it's reasonably priced. I would never play it, but I'm sure it's not going to be bad.
Alright, Ian. So, ratings out of 10 then for everyone on this. Starting with,
I'm going to give it a... I think I'm going to go with a 6, just because, I mean, I don't know. It looks like it does have some RPG aspects, but it's hard to tell that from the trailer. I don't know. I weren't too impressed by the animations. To be fair, it didn't look amazing. And I'd put like Ian says, I'm probably never gonna play it. So
yeah.
Are we calling her mate Ian now?
It's probably because Ian just typed in chat. He's just gone away, puss.
Oh,
I thought you were
tell him he's a twat.
Ian, so
you're a twat, Ian.
Oh, family friendly, boys. Family friendly, okay? Family friendly here. Except for the fact that we just showed tits on stream because, thanks, Deck of Ashes, but you know. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5. I wouldn't play it myself, but I can also appreciate that some people would enjoy that type of stuff. Oh, Ian just subscribed to Twitch Prime. Ian, you are a lad. Thank you very much, man. That's much appreciated.
What a lad.
Thank you very much for the support, man.
That money that he doesn't have.
Well, I mean, it's better using the Twitch Prime on my channel than saving that £5 and putting it towards Tour de France, isn't it, really?
Anything is better than Tour de France. Anything.
There you go. If anyone's thinking about spending Tour de France, I think we come to a group decision to just come and get Prime on the channel.
Cheeseburger where McDonald's crushed it before they gave it to me than Tour de France.
So Jason and Tomoe, what are your ratings out of 10 on this?
You first, Tomoe.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
5, okay.
I'll be a bit more generous. I like the Darkest Dungeons art style they got going on there, and I'm keen to see a new take on Slay the Spire, because it looks like that's exactly what they're going for here, you know? Similar take to Slay the Spire, single-player deck building. Quite frankly, I'm sick to death of all the multiplayer ones, so breath of fresh air. What Justin said, the animations didn't look great, but and the fact that it's in early access, I'm going to go with a 6.
Okay, a 6 is not bad.
But I'd be keen to play that when it's done. I don't like playing games like this in early access, though.
Okay, well, good on the devs of Deck of Ashes. You've made it a lot better than Tour de France, so that's bonus points from me. There's a game called Project Warlock, which is the next one we're going to talk about. It is being released on Switch on June 11th, and it comes out on Xbox on June 12th. Now, according to Google, it has been out since 2018, so I imagine that's on PS4. And no, it's not on PS4, it's on PC. So it looks like it's coming to Switch and Xbox now, in June. And I'll put the trailer in. I've never actually heard of this game, so this is the first time I've heard of it or seen anything about it. Alright.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay.
One man and his guns in a world invaded by demons. The Warlock with his magic powers. Yeah. and powerful weapons. Groovy. Must take the Earth back. Piece of cake.
Is this? Are you sure this is Warlock's trailer, not Wolfenstein slash Doom slash every single three-dimensional early stage first-person shooter game ever?
Only one man can become the ultimate demon.
And now we've got some Neon Genesis going on.
I never asked for this. Oh wait, I did.
Oh, there's the cringy voice lines.
Don't forget Duke Nukem.
I feel lucky. Project Warlock. Only on GOG.com.
And now, Switch and Xbox. Okay, so, thoughts? Other than it looks basically like a retro Doom ripoff.
No, not Doom, not Doom. It's not a Doom ripoff. It's there's some elements from like Wolfenstein in there that I see, and some Duke Nukem and Doom. Like it's basically a game based off of the old weird three-dimensional spritey type games.
It's a retro FPS, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun. It's probably going to be fun.
I tell you, I do like the fact that the art style is kind of like that. Like it's kind of, you know, different to what we normally expect. Like Call of Duty nowadays tries to always be that big AAA title with the big flashy graphics, and even Battlefield does that a lot, but they always like to overdo it with the lens flares. So I guess for some people who enjoy their indie games and also enjoy first-person shooters, this might be a nice, refreshing game to play when you get a bit fed up with those other games.
Yeah.
See, I think it looks quite fun. I noticed in the trailer there's no save points. I wonder if it's like going to be a procedurally generated roguelike sort of thing or what.
It's actually
It definitely looks like a game that focuses on like mastery and whatnot.
yeah. Well, it seems to be like different upgrades you could get as well, so it does seem like there's more than just level progression in the game as well.
Yeah, it could be like a kind of Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon sort of thing. I don't know. If it is procedurally generated, then it is pretty much that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think for me that...
And if it is that, it'll be right up my street.
Yeah, I think you'd probably enjoy that game. I think that's definitely one you'd probably enjoy that quite a lot, actually, Justin. Personally, like I say myself, I wouldn't go out my way to play it, but I like the art style. I like that it's a first-person shooter with that art style. So for me, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. I like the theme. Obviously I like the edgy voice lines, even though I was like, oh look, cringy voice lines. But they make games for me. It's why I also play games like Borderlands and stuff. What's everyone else giving it out of 10?
I'm not too impressed. Look, I don't know if you... it's ironic this game's at June. I don't know if you're familiar with a game that came out June last year, actually, called A Medieval. It's apparently got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, but this Doom-style type of game has been making a comeback lately in the indies. Like, everyone's been trying to do their own take on it. I've seen a couple Cyberpunk ones as well, where the whole idea is you're in some kind of Cyberpunk dungeon. It's the same type of 2D... You know, they're going for the charm of the style, but I think it's also easy to make a game like that. There was actually another one quite like this one, and for a second I had mistaken this one as that one. I was going over my wish list now, trying to look for it, because at one point I was interested in it, but I can't find it. I would say, you know, sure, it looks fun, it looks cheesy. I don't know how much replayability you'd get out of this, or how long you'd actually want to play it for. I'd give it a 5, solid average.
Okay.
I'd give it a 7. I really like the Duke Nukem games and series and such, and I feel like the nostalgic kind of vibe it's giving off, I would enjoy. So, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8. I mean, if it's what I assume it is, if it's like a roguelike sort of dungeon crawler thing, then it will probably be a game I'll actually play.
Yeah, that's fair. Those are good reviews. But yeah, I kind of agree with everyone's points there. Like, if you enjoy certain aspects of previous games that you played throughout the past, I guess, you'll typically enjoy that type of game. Right, so the next one is called Warborn. It says here that it launches on PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch on June 12th. It is, deploy for battle in a variable armor, a technological advanced suit of war. With turn-based tactics and quick-fire clashes, lead a strike force of deadly mecha to bring peace to a solar system in a 40-mission campaign. So it seems like it's a strategy game, and here is the trailer.
Rated everyone 10 and up.
This is Gundam.
Oh no.
Oh god, no. Oh lord, no. Is that the chick from Ben 10?
It is! Wow.
Okay, so this is heavily mecha anime inspired, it seems.
Oh no.
Oh, she's back.
That is the Ben 10 chick, dude.
And she did 420 damage too.
My favorite is He-Man.
I couldn't remember the name of it, so I didn't say anything, but yeah, I know exactly who you're on about. So yeah, that's Warborn. 40-player campaign, 40-mission campaign, sorry. Very inspired by anime.
That's a PS4 exclusive.
No, that's out on every system. PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and Windows. And even Mac.
I will admit, based on the trailer, it does look incredibly low effort.
I've played Flash games and Android games that look the same.
Yeah, I have Game Boy Advanced vibes from it, but with better graphics.
Yeah, I mean, it probably does have its fan base or whatever you want to call it. But for me, that's a 3 out of 10. Solid. I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't spend money on that. How much is it? I'm gonna just check how many cheeseburgers it's worth.
Go look at the cheeseburger with Callum. I don't know if you remember that visual novel I was telling you to play at one point, Sunrider.
Nekapara, oh.
Sun. Yeah, you were the one who told me to play Nekapara. Sunrider.
Thanks, Callum. I mean, it's not bloody PG-13 or whatever anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
no, we didn't mention anything specific. It's okay, we're fine.
It's just cats. So this is a mech game. Sunrider is a mech game. This is the same type of combat. It just looks worse. I'm gonna go with Hermé. This is a 3.
It's a 3 for Jason. Alright, Justin.
I can't find the price.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm quite a fan of the turn-based strategy game, but like I said before, it does look like they put very little effort into it. Like the animation and the artwork and whatnot. You know, I think I could literally pay someone on Etsy to do a better job than that. I'm gonna give it a 2.
He's right.
So this game is releasing in like 2 weeks or something. It's on the 12th of June. So yeah, that's actually, I believe, exactly 2 weeks from
Well,
now.
yeah. I mean, I don't think it's coming out next year. I mean, look how much. Look at it. It's not gonna take a year to make.
No, they're waiting for PS5. Only PS5 can handle that.
So, there is one bright side to Warborn that I can give the devs for this game. We gave it a higher rating than good old Tour de France, which surprisingly has more effort than this.
No, it does not. It does not.
I think Tour de France has more effort, but the thing is, I think I could enjoy playing Warborn. That's the thing. I don't think it keep me entertained.
There's no price, by the way. It's releasing in 2 weeks. Maybe because I started working on it last week. Like, I
They haven't decided on a plan. They're busy waiting for people to talk about it, like us on stream now, and then
They'll
like
speak to the marketing team in a week about the price. We've just lowered it, boys.
oh, bloody hell.
Well, if it's more than 3 cheeseburgers, then I would say no. And also,
dude, I can tell that game's gonna be more than 3 cheeseburgers. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 3 cheeseburgers. You know, I actually get enjoyment out of 3 cheese.
I'd go 2 gourmet cheeseburgers,
I mean, if you,
maybe.
If you offered to buy me 3 cheeseburgers for playing that, I would have to think about it.
I mean, looking at the animations, right? It seems like the character being hit by projectiles has the same animation, doesn't matter what happens to it. If I was to fire it with a fucking death beam, you know, would it still just go and then fall over? Because
yeah, I get those vibes.
Maybe we're judging it harshly upon its looks and its animation and its general just ness. Maybe it's got an incredibly intense lore and complex gameplay.
Hold on. How intense can it be when you steal Gwen from Ben 10 and also have the weird like animations
Neon
where...
Genesis Evangelion?
Hang on, where's Megas XLR?
Oh, dude, no, let's not talk about Megas, please. We do not disgrace that amazing show in the same context as that game that I just witnessed. Just leave. Oh.
I mean, okay. You guys have played Divinity, the original Sin 2.
Yep, freaking amazing.
Have we played Warborn? Nope, never going to either.
Nope, never going to either. I feel like if you guys were to spend money on a game, just go and buy Divinity 2.
Yep.
I feel like it's going to be the same vibes. You know, you can pick it up. It's going to be a few cheeseburgers. It's not going to be 3. It's going to be a few of them.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fucking fun, dude. Believe me, that's like 80 hours of entertainment solid.
Cover your friend in boxes when they go AFK.
I feel like I'm going to say this now quickly. Maybe this podcast was a bad idea because I can feel like every sponsorship is just crossing my channel off the list now. For potential sponsorships, like, oh, we were thinking about it, but you didn't like our game. Goodbye, see you later.
Nah, they'll hire you for your honesty.
Oh, maybe that's a good point then, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on from Warborn because I need to cleanse my palette of games right now.
But hang on, I gotta ask, seeing as Warborn somehow made that list, what is the criteria for making this list?
It's just video games that are being released, mate, that appeared in news.
I feel like I could literally just sell Callum a Monopoly game board and he'd advertise that on his Twitch stream.
For you, Justin, I would. For you, I would.
What item have we, or what item, how many are there left?
We're about halfway through the list.
Halfway, okay, that's good.
Yeah, we can continue.
Okay, so the next one is Beyond Blue. Beyond Blue is a single-player narrative adventure that takes you deep into our planet's beating blue heart. Explore the awesome wonder and unbound mystery that exists within the world's ocean. Comes out June 11th on PC, PS4, and Xbox.
When did they change Subnautica's name?
I tell you what though, just from me trying to get the trailer here for us, it actually looks surprisingly beautiful. Right, so here we go, I'm putting it in now.
Good time to be releasing underwater games, what with that Shark one that just came out.
Oh yes, Man-Eater. Where is it loaded for everyone?
It's loading, you can check the bars.
Because it's actually started playing for me. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's playing.
Welcome to the Western Pacific. I'm Dr. Mirai Soto, and I'll be your eyes and ears on this expedition. I'm joined today by 2 colleagues.
Hello, I'm Andre.
And I'm Irina.
First time on a live stream. Be gentle with her.
That's close enough. You can use your dive water to control the boy from there.
I'm scanning to train our AI to recognize sperm whales, and so we can hopefully recognize our specific friend later.
Hello, Mirai. Thanks for checking in. Feeling settled in the sun?
I'm great. Nice suit, nice sub.
Why does she sound like Dora the Explorer though?
Solo subtext makes me nervous. We're definitely putting it out for 2 pilots next time.
Didn't you help design it?
Yes, but now you're driving it.
Well, you don't see that every day. At least I don't.
Neither do I.
Hold on, what the fuck? That just vanished.
Alright, baby. We won't forget you now.
Great. I've been waiting for this. I've just activated your UV light. Now you can see what a swell shark sees.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, this dive just keeps getting stranger.
I have something I know you'll want to see.
Okay, so that was Beyond Blue.
It was beyond boring.
Okay, I agree with Jason. Oh fuck! It looks gorgeous.
It does,
in my
yeah.
opinion, it looks very good. It looks like it's just an exploring game. Have you guys played No Man's Sky? Yeah, all of you played No Man's Sky. Everyone's played No Man's Sky. Recently, it's not been too bad because there was actually added some things you can do. But I get the same kind of vibe. You know, it looks good. It sounds good. It looks amazing. It's almost a piece of art. But it's got the same playability as a piece of art.
Well,
you just what the fuck? Am I gonna scan blue whales the entire fucking time?
No, this is what I take from that trailer. So at the end there it said launching on World's Ocean Week. So I feel like this game is meant to be more of an educational game. It's meant to be one of those games you play to relax. It's not a game you'd play because, you know, it's the next big thing or your friends have told you about it. It's a game that you'd go on Steam and be like, oh, this looks kind of beautiful. I'm bored. Yeah, I'll play it. It doesn't look like
If you noticed as well, it said it includes scenes from Blue Planet 2.
Oh, there we go then, yeah.
Blue Planet is the documentary with, what's his name?
David Attenborough, yeah, it's a big claim to make.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very educational game. So I think based on the fact that you can tell it is supposed to be very educational and very nature-based and not a game you'd go out to play as a game, but more of a relaxing type situation or just doing something when you're bored, you know, or maybe you just want to do a bit of research, maybe. It'd be something good for that. So personally for me, I think I'm going to give it a 7 based on the fact that just from the trailer alone, it's educational more than anything.
Oh boy.
Go on then, Jason.
I think I'll agree with Callum, to be fair. Like, 7 out of 10.
How much did you say, Callum?
I said 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
I mean, yes, it is very boring, but it's not a game I'm going to play.
It's not something I'd play, but I will say the art and the animation in particular I thought looked really fluid. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Now, I'd just also like to say here, the cast that was talking there, on Steam it says here that Anna Akana from YouTube voiced one of the characters. Mira Furlan from Lost and Babylon 5 is also in it. Hakeem Kai Kazim from Black Sails, Hotel Rwanda is also in it. And Ali Maki from Toy Story 4 are among the cast in that game.
Great. Fantastic. You go, Hermé.
Well, just because it looks nice, and I feel like it's not Tour de France, and you know it's got more effort than Warborn, I'd give it a 6. I give it a 6 just because it looks good. It looks like it's someone put a lot of effort into it. Actual playability, I think, is gonna probably be very low. So if it's not too expensive, I feel like it's probably something cool. I'm gonna go check it out. Beyond Blue.
I'm gonna sound like a horrible person. You know, yeah, sure. It looked like some effort was put into that, but look, y'all keep saying this thing's educational, and you're gonna give it leniency for that. Look, I'm a marketing man. I can tell you, I wouldn't advertise a product like that if it was supposed to be educational, because education's supposed to be fun. And this, you know, honestly, I would say you're robbing yourself if you spend your time playing this instead of watching. What did you say it was? Planet Earth? With David Attenborough?
Blue Planet, wasn't it?
Blue Planet.
Yeah, Blue Planet.
Look, you know, we just no. I've seen Blue Planet. That documentary is fantastic. It'll leave you in awe. I definitely did not get the same vibe from this game, where you know this had the vibes of an adventure game, minus the adventure, where they, you know, I would expect if it were an educational game that they would be mentioning things like, you know, the depth you might find a lot of these creatures at, whereas it looked in some of the footage there like they were in very shallow waters, and then when they went into deep waters, or you know, waters where it's supposed to be dark enough that you need a pressure suit or something, there she is in that regular suit. I get it, you know, still a game with their future sub and their future suits, but based on what it looked like you would spend your time doing in the game, if that's the way you're going to be learning, you're going to have a better time looking stuff up on Wikipedia. I'm giving that a 4.
Okay.
Justified.
Okay, so I just want to change something I said earlier, because I kind of made a little bit of a mistake. Project Warlock releases on PS4 June 9th. It then releases on Switch on June 11th and on Xbox on June 12th. So there's 3 different release dates for different consoles for Project Warlock. Okay, so the next game on the list comes out... When does it come out? June 16th, which is called Desperados 3. It is a real-time tactics video game developed by Miami Games. Sorry, Mimi. What is that? What? Mimimi Games. What the hell type of name is that? Mimimi Games, and published by THQ and Nordic. The first installment in the series since the 20s. Well, I'm used to saying 2020 now. It's the first installment in the series since the 2007 spin-off title Hell Dorado.
Okay.
So
for clarification, before we start, does anyone have any clue what the hell this is?
It's a cowboy game.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Is it gonna be as good as Red Dead Redemption 2?
Well, no idea.
It doesn't look as good as Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's not the whole game, is it?
Seems that way, doesn't it?
Hey, darling.
Wait, his save's coming.
Yeah, the whole game's just...
It's just...
I've spent years and years trying to solve this one mission. What the fuck? Okay, come on.
The truth behind McCree.
Well, that is a proper flex when you throw your guns down and throw a knife in.
Yeah, but hold on. This whole trailer is just saves come the game. Okay, so that was Desperados 3.
Is it co-op?
It doesn't say.
Are those other people you're save scumming with your friends, or do you have to control them one by one? That'll affect my entire rating.
The tags here are just strategy, real-time tactics, Western, and tactical. From the looks of the actual gameplay on Steam, on the images, it looks like XCOM but with cowboys.
Hold the phone. You're telling me this is not a game about going back in time and trying to see how... That was literally just save scumming, and that was the joke.
Yeah, it's XCOM with cowboys.
The funny thing is, though, XCOM players are very much against save scumming, so it's weird how they went with that.
I think it's just supposed to show like different ways you could prepare, maybe, because it's a real-time strategy game.
Okay, so to be honest, it doesn't look bad. I don't see the appeal in doing it. But have you seen the fucking price?
It's more than double Chimera Squad, which just released.
Wait, really?
Dude, it's like
a
ridiculous amount of fucking cheeseburgers. That's a real large amount of cheeseburgers. That's... I have to get a calculator to calculate for you.
It's around about 16
just tell me
cheeseburgers.
how many cheeseburgers.
16? It's like 36 cheeseburgers.
Wow.
Oh wait, you're talking McDonald's cheeseburgers. Alright, hang on.
Yeah, that's that. Jason, I've taught you better. That's the McDonald's cheeseburger conversion system. It's always McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah, you're right.
Jason.
It's about 44 cheeseburgers.
Okay, so...
a lot of fucking cheeseburgers, my dude.
So, what are we going to give this for ratings? Like, the fact that now I know it's XCOM with a cowboy skin, and the trailer was just save scumming, I feel like I'm going to give it a 6.
Hang on, before the other guys rate, I'm also looking at some more footage. It doesn't look like it's just XCOM style. I'm seeing a lot of sneaking around in like a, I don't know, platformer style level, sneaking around, looking out for enemy. I don't know if anyone played Shadow Tactics? Anyone? Shadow Tactics? Blades of the Shogun?
No.
But it feels like you've just named one of those really old Chinese movies where they tried to translate in English, but then their mouth still moved.
Like, okay, hang on, hold up. Shadow Tactics, Blade of the Shogun, developer, Me Games. Yeah, this is the new Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. Okay. And that is currently still 409 Rand, but I got it for like nothing on Humble.
Yeah, more like this. Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun, £35.
Yeah, look, I was gonna give it a 3. I'll actually give it a 5 if it's gonna be like this. If the 5 meant mostly for the price, otherwise I'd give it a 6.
Okay, Justin Hermé?
I think a lot of care went into the trailer. I'm gonna give it a 6. You know, cowboy games always pretty unique, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, they don't really give a lot from trailer, do they? So.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Go on, Hermé.
Solid 5.
Bear in mind, Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, like I said, the gameplay looks very similar, and that got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam.
Okay. Very fair, very fair.
If it's a good game, it sells it horribly.
Yeah. You should have left your sound on.
Right, why, what's up?
We've uncovered something.
Go on.
Okay, so...
First the gameplay.
So they've made a few of these games, right? So tell me when you're live so I can talk about this. Right?
We are still live, like we're back, we're all back. As soon as I came back, I've unmuted everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're back on the Tour de France thing, right? So I found the Tour de France 2020 game on Steam. By the way, the gameplay looks fucking...
No, mate, he's got to stream that. He has to stream the video of the gameplay.
Go into Steam quickly and go and check it out.
Right,
Just
okay.
go check the video.
Wait, it's the very first video.
So I'm looking at the developer, right?
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Looking at the developer.
Sorry, give me 1
he
second,
makes
Hermé. Good night. Good night. Yeah, no worries. Sleep well. My friend, say good night.
He's got to. I've put the video link in his chat. He's got to put that on the sync up for us. He's got to put it in the playlist.
Ian says, "Did you not know the Tour de France has been a thing for ages?"
No, we have not.
Jason, send me that link on Steam, please, so I can actually put it on the sync.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna have the same reaction we did, Hermé?
Right, let's have a look at this. So, is this time trial gameplay? I don't even... is this worth putting on?
Dude, just look at it. Just look at the
It
graphics.
is. It's worth.
Oh, Tour de France is going to be the biggest meme game of the year, isn't it? Right,
Yeah,
okay.
we get to see this again, boys.
Just look at the gameplay.
This gloriousness.
Okay, here we go.
What the fuck is this? Honest to God.
Wait, why are they standing on the track? How can they talk about position management and show people standing in the middle of your way?
No, but I mean, this is a game in 2020. How can it looks like fucking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Look, there's more people standing in the way.
Bitch, get out of the way.
£45. 45.
Let me just stop you for a second. So I went onto the Steam page now, and I checked the developer. So the developer is Cyanide Studios. They are known for games such as, and I'll tell you now.
Styx, Master of Shadows. That's quite a big one to do.
Styx, Master of Shadows, Call of Cthulhu, Blood Bowl 2, Space Hulk Tactics. You know.
So, do you think they just put all their interns on Tour de France?
Okay, but no. There's more. Wait. Just wait. So there are a few games that actually did quite well, especially the Blood Bowl and the Styx.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they
now,
do Warhammer games, Callum. They do Warhammer games.
So here's a good one. They have been doing games such as Pro Basketball Manager, which has got a 37% user review rating. Basketball Pro Management 2015, Pro Cycling Manager 2018. It's got a 65% rating on Steam. I mean, fuck me, it's
Crazy.
250 rand. That's like fucking 12 cheeseburgers.
And imagine when we found out that they've been making these games for a while. There's a Tour de France 2019, and it still cost $40 on the PlayStation Store. And it looks equally bad. I'm fairly certain they just put a new title on an old game and went for it.
Oh, bloody hell.
I completely agree with Jason that there's definitely no way somebody's buying these games. It's definitely an illegal money laundering scheme.
That has to be. Just you can't be making money for this game. It's got 194 reviews. I want to see, okay, Steam charts now. I'm going to Steam charts. I want to see how many people actually play these games. So let's go to Pro Cycling Manager. Right? Okay, so Pro Cycling Manager 2019. All-time peak was 3,433 people. Right, wait. So, I'll actually compare that to a little game that we call Lawbreakers.
Oh no.
Does anyone remember Lawbreakers?
Yes. Oh boy.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Lawbreakers peak player count. So Lawbreakers had 3,003 peak players apparently at some point.
Oh dear, boys. Oh dear.
So fucking Pro Cycling, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Pro Cycling Manager actually did better than Lawbreakers.
I don't know if that's sad or...
Jason, at this point, that is sad. That is depressing and sad.
I mean, that's your reviewer audience, isn't it? Those, all those people, those are the journalists that had to review it.
Some of them apparently are, really depressed now. They're in care. They were like, £45 for this!
Oh my god, I can't.
tried to eat the game disc afterwards to see if they at least get some nutritional value out of it.
It's like when you watch Worth It and they're sat there eating gold, except these people are eating just pure shit.
I can't fucking believe what I'm seeing.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Look.
Next thing. Okay.
Just give me something good, Callum, please.
The developer for this is V1 Interactive. These are ex-Bungie developers. This next game comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. The publishers are Private Division and Take-Two Interactive. This is Disintegration. It's a sci-fi FPS combined with RTS elements. Pilot a heavy weaponized grav cycle while commanding your troops on the ground as you battle for a thrilling single-player campaign and in frenetic PvP multiplayer.
Oh, I remember this.
This releases June 16th for the same day as Desperados 3. And here is the trailer.
Isn't this the game you showed me the other day?
It's a game I might have showed you the other day, yes.
How'd we pick up the celebrity?
Busted out same time we did. Pilot seems useful.
They locked you up in the same iron cloud as this riffraff?
I'm no different. Not one step further. See what we've got. 5 integrated outlaws.
Sir, have you got weapons and shelter in there? Maybe you could give us a chance to rest.
We may have more of interest to you than guns.
Grav cycles? A working grav cycle.
You know how fond I am of you, Romer, but I'm running out of patience. I'm offering you true freedom in service of a higher calling. Join the Reaygun. Let your eyes see red.
I've seen what you call freedom. Not interested.
This is it, team. If we want to have a resistance tomorrow, we have to bring it all today.
Anything to add, Romer?
Don't die.
Take care of this crew.
So that's Disintegration.
Wow. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, it looks
cool.
Yeah.
See, I remember the E3. Wait, is this what I think it is? Is this that E3 reveal trailer where you have some kind of floating thing and you have
the
to
grav
control
cycle,
your ground
yes.
troops, but it's also an FPS shooter and you
Yeah.
can sort of help them from your. Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I think I've seen this before.
Yeah,
well,
this is a pretty big E3 game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that an 8 based on trailer impressions. Actually, I would have gone for a 7, but you know, it looks like they. I'm glad they haven't gone the whole open world survival route. They also tacked in a genre which hasn't had any AAA title in a very long time. There's a couple of indie games that have no player base that are multiplayer only. So, you know, it's doing very nicely in that regard, and it actually looks like it has a storyline that might be worth playing through. So that's something to be excited about.
Mhm. Anybody else got anything to add on that?
I mean, I think I'm gonna give it a 7 just because. I mean, it does look good, and I agree with a lot of Yeah, stop stuttering like an idiot for a minute. I agree with mostly what Jason said. But I would have liked to have seen more gameplay in the trailer, but hey ho.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm glad they actually put gameplay in there. My biggest concern with that, just based on the trailer there, is that I feel like for me personally, I'd enjoy the FPS side of things, maybe not so much the RTS. But I'd definitely give it a go. I'd definitely play it. But like my biggest worry is that it might be one of those games where I play it personally for a few hours and then don't touch it again until something's like, oh, I should play that game again. I don't know if anybody else gets those vibes.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I'd give it a 7 based on what I saw. Like, I definitely want to try it out. I definitely want to play it. But I still have those worries that that's one of those games where I'd do that.
Yeah, I'll also give it a 7. To be honest, it looks pretty cool. I just have to see how it's implemented and such before I can officially say I'd play it.
Comes up. Oh god, this is like probably a bad one for you to end on as well. Right, boys, this is going to be an interesting one. So the very first description that appears here is Best Friend Forever is the world's first simulation game to combine pet care and dating.
Oh no.
And then it goes to train, pat, and play, and then it ends there. So I actually have to click on the website here. Oh dear lord, this looks a bit crazy. Okay.
This is not going to be like that Mass Effect style game that someone kickstarted, is it?
Here's the... where is it? Copy link. I need to copy link. I can't even find it. There we go. Nope, that's copy image. Copy link address. There we go. Okay. Oh. Add that to the playlist. Click on play.
You're not filling me with hope, lad.
It's me, Cheeseball.
Oh no.
Being sad and alone. Sick of living in squalor with no friends.
I left.
Play Best Friend Forever.
I can't finish it. I honestly God, I can't finish it.
Adopt and care for your very own forever friend.
That voice.
That's me.
Oh no.
The others, but shush, they're sleeping. Explore
This is
Rainbow
me,
Day.
Cheeseball.
Named the world's most dog-friendly town.
Oh no.
Funny, that's the
Two-legged
exact same
friend.
voice my dog talks to me.
Oh, no, one of them was Jack Sparrow.
So the Buck and a Pico with you, Callum. To be honest.
That's 6
Oh
legs.
wait, in one
What
of the
a
Prince
bargain.
Hagrid I just saw.
Where he's just taking a shit.
Pick up my poop.
Pick it up.
Thank you. Don't wait. If you visit bffgame.org right now, you'll get the latest news about BFF and I'll get more treats. That's www.bffgame.org. I'm the .org. Go now.
I'd like to just say I'm sorry for putting you all through that.
Callum, you're henceforth forbidden from making these lists, and we will be making them for you going forwards.
I think I'd rather play Tour de France. So.
Whoa, I wouldn't take it that far.
No, dude, that looked.
Well,
the fucking intro. I just watched like 10 seconds. I was like, fuck, no.
But I would genuinely rather play Big Rigs.
I don't even know what that is.
Big Rigs over the road racing.
Oh lord.
I don't understand what was going through the developer's head with that one. I honestly can't tell you.
I want to make a very fucked up
So,
joke,
mate,
but
do you
I'm
want-
not gonna do that.
Do you want to put a 0 on that for you?
Yeah, no, that's
That's a
I don't
solid
know.
1 from me, actually.
that is a no one will ever play that.
The trailer was funny. It was a shame that the developer didn't have any friends to voice act for them.
The trailer was funny, mate. I've seen paint drying being funnier than that before. Like you look at it and suddenly there's like a weird crack in the pattern or something, and you get a little bit of a giggle out of that. Not that didn't happen here. I just sat at this
Jason,
questioning.
if you get a laugh out of watching paint crack, then yell. I don't even know what to say to that.
Listen, all I did was sit here questioning why I agreed to this while I was seeing that trailer on that screen.
Anyway, boys, it's been fun. I'm gonna leave you now. You can put me down as a 0 for that one.
So long, Hame. We will share the burden.
So
Me and Justin, the cover, and we're good to go.
Right, so Ian, Jason, can you send him the link to this weird flipping syncvideo.com?
Yes, I can.
So the next game that we're looking at, you're going to be replacing Hame, so we need a 4th person for the ratings, otherwise this is queue for this episode. So the next game is called Waking. I've just said here that it is combining third-person action and guided meditation. Waking is an emotional adventure through your dying mind. Battle the forces of oblivion, conjure the memories of loved ones, and join them in the fight for your life.
Hold the phone. Third-person action and guided meditation are two things that wouldn't be in the same.
Username. How PG are we?
What is your username? We're very PG. We're family friendly, Ian.
Alright, it says holistic pancakes.
Yeah, just leave it. Just leave it. That's brilliant.
That'll do.
Man, have you seen our names? I'm Cooing Wasp. Someone's Better Sea Turtle. I think Justin's
I'm the
Handsome Mouse. I was just.
I'm basically Jerry.
Right. Okay. So here's the Waking trailer. Actually, I do recognize this game. I have been offered a key for this game to try it on stream. But I feel like that's going to be taken back after this, knowing you guys.
Hey,
You'll never forget it.
we'll see.
Right. Let's have a look here. When he decides to load. Oh, I just have to click play apparently. No, I don't. There we go.
If you were lost in the darkness of a coma, wandering through a dream in your subconscious mind, barely holding on to life,
Is it not playing for you?
which of your most treasured memories would you forge into weapons
There we go.
cut through the forces of death? Which people from your past and present would you summon to guide you through the night? Which dark souls would haunt you on your journey?
Well, he said Dark Souls.
Yeah.
He said Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 4 confirmed.
So there you go, boys. That is Waking.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you first, Justin.
Alright, well, I'll admit, when they did the simple art style for Hello Neighbor, it was charming and it probably suits totally unreliable delivery service, whatever it's called. But now they're trying to make a serious game with the same art, and it just looks clunky.
According to Steam, though, Justin, I don't think it's them itself. They're just publishing the game. I think the person who made this, I think it's one guy.
Or, well,
Because
okay.
because it says here, because here it says developer Jason Oda.
For one guy, it does look good. I'll admit, like it looks really good for one guy making it. But how much does it cost?
Steam does not have a price, but it releases in approximately 2 weeks.
I wouldn't imagine it'd be more than like $20.
Yeah, it's just that I see it sort of similar to remastered of a game Control the other day, which is a AAA game, and like I think the main point of that trailer was the whole telekinesis thing, this whole unique ability.
Yeah.
And Control has that same thing, but in a AAA title, obviously it looks a lot better.
Okay.
AAA title that's currently on sale on the Epic Store.
Yeah, so
Epic Store.
Yeah, that's why it's on sale. You got to use the Epic Store. Right? But yeah, no. I mean, I'll admit, for one guy, it does look really good. The price is going to be a big kind of a big moot point for me. You know, I mean, if you're talking under a tenner, then it'll probably be like a game you could check out if it's got a good story to go alongside it. But
yeah, I get what you're saying. I kind of like the fact that it's one of those indie games where it seems like it's very story based and it's going to be very deep. Because obviously, like the very introduction to it was you're a dude in a coma and you're trying to wake, hence the title Waking. So it looks like you also summon like people in your life, like family members and stuff. So maybe the characters, what's the word I'm looking for here? Connection with those people in real life has kind of gone downhill. And it's him just going through his life and basically thinking like, how should I fix this? And obviously fighting for his own life as well. So I kind of like the concept of it. And I think the art style is kind of pretty, considering it might be one guy that made that game. Any other thoughts?
I mean, if it's got a good game, got a good story. I mean, which it could by all means. You know, you don't need a full team to make a story. Then yeah, it could be good. I mean, the gameplay looks good. Say it's made by one guy, I think.
But look, let's face it, what usually carries indie games like this is their story, for the simple reason that AAA studios alone can produce AAA gameplay. I mean, The Witcher is a good exception to that rule. But I mean, you know, if you've played any of the World War II titles that are around or looked at reviews or whatnot, it's a shame that Battlefield was it in the World War II Battlefield game called Battlefield 5?
Battlefield 5, yeah.
It's a shame that Battlefield 5 is going the way it did because quite simply, you know, no other World War II game had the type of gameplay quality that had when it was functional.
Subject to debate, all right.
But
no other game, yeah. Okay, sure.
No, hang on. There were certainly competing games or games that you'd call better for sure. But you know, in terms of the quality of everything that went into the actual mechanics, you know, how things felt, how the guns handled, what the animations and stuff looked like, those are things you generally expect from AAA studios. And where indies really shine is in telling these stories, because anyone can be a good storyteller, but not everyone has a team of coders and designers to, you know, make things look real good and feel real great, you know?
Right, so I think I'm going to give that a 7, to be honest with you guys. I kind of like the look of it. I don't know if I'd play it, but I like the look of it.
I'll go with a 6, because I don't know, something feels a bit off about the whole coma thing.
I'm gonna agree with Callum, but I haven't said my bit though. I thought my one thing was I thought the models they look kind of realistic, but the problem is it is, you know, just one guy making all this, or at least most of it. Obviously, he uses some assets he's bought online. This is impossible to do by yourself. I felt like I could have done with a more stylized look. I mean, if you look at games like Journey, also obviously indie projects, you can get a lot more out of less.
Okay. Just to change it, it says here actually, developed by Jason Oda and a small freelance team.
Okay, there we go. That makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, it does.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 with Callum. I think it looks really nice. Don't know if I'd buy it, but if the price is low, yeah, why not? Keep me busy for 2 hours or 2 or 3.
Agree with Jason. It does look good for an indie game, but it does. I don't know. It looks clunky to me.
Yeah, I want to say that it does look a bit clunky though. The combat in particular kind of stuck out to me there. The powers of the telekinesis look like fun, blocking shit with that. But actually punching something, at least from what I could see in the trailer, looked a bit, I don't know, off. Some of the animations there.
Okay, that's fair. Right, okay. So the next game is June 19th release date. It is going to be one of the games of the year just because of what it is. And that's The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, here we go.
Part 2, wow, okay.
Alright, here we go.
We knew it was coming. It's a game that's very hyped for. And is it going to start playing?
Wasp, take us away.
Peggy
there we go.
I know you wish things were different. I wish things were different. Ellie! But they ain't.
Please stop! I'm leaving tomorrow.
To do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
So they just get to get away with this?
How'd you find us?
You can't stop this.
I want what you want. But not at any cost. I really hope you make it.
we could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
That is hectic and very emotional.
Alright, you fellas first then.
10. You see those facial expressions? It's incredible. The Naughty Dog's always been good though, but I mean,
I've always said, if you want to play a game and watch a movie at the same time, you play Last of Us because it's such a cinematic game. You don't know the difference.
it was. There was a couple like truly spectacular moments in the first game, and I'll never forget that one.
Oh boy.
So, it makes me really want to get a PS4. This and Ghost of Tsushima, which looks incredible.
You then watched a stream of the first game or something?
No, I played it. I had a PS3.
I played it.
Jason?
Yeah, look, I wasn't too impressed by The Last of Us as a game, because what you say is very true. It is very cinematic. Hell, I imagine this could have made a very good movie, and for cinematic games, it does a very good job. From this trailer, I'm getting a bit more Tomb Raider vibes from that, you know? Having recently seen more Tomb Raider gameplay, I get it. It's still part of the same narrative story. It does look really good. I know Naughty Dog are very good at their storytelling, their level design, their their narrative. But as far as gameplay goes, I haven't actually been proper impressed by what they have you do in the game. The story is fantastic, don't get me wrong, and the art is beautiful, but for that gameplay aspect that I think is lacking, I would go with an 8, knowing that this is Last of Us and I know what to expect from the gameplay.
I
Yeah.
think that's a little unfair. I really enjoyed the
like
gameplay
Last of
actually.
Us.
The
Yeah, I
gameplay loop
like the
itself
gameplay.
was simple enough, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. You felt like you were progressing, going through a journey. Obviously, that's part of the more story aspect. But the gameplay itself, I liked it. I thought it struck a nice balance.
You didn't feel it got a bit repetitive after a while?
Yeah, I suppose, but they break it up enough with enough story elements to. I mean, I almost forgot about everything. I was so immersed and in the world. I enjoyed it that much. I really like it. It was my game of the year.
I'll give you that. The
I
immersion
feel
in
like
that was very well done.
I feel like I could have gone through Last of Us in a single playthrough if it wasn't on the PS4 downstairs. Like if it was in my room, if I could
If it
play
wasn't
it
for
indefinitely.
obligations like school
Yeah.
and university and all those.
Exactly. I feel like I could have gone through it in one.
Exactly.
That's very fair. That's very fair. Personally, for me, I'm going to give it an 8. Like, I'm very excited for the game. I'm definitely going to play it when it's out. It's definitely a game I'm going to personally stream as well because it's big game and whatnot. But the characters, I do like the look of this new one because obviously like shit hits the fan. Let's be honest. You can tell from the trailer there, and it seems to be heavily focused around Ellie and revenge. Which, without giving many spoilers, in case people haven't been thinking about it too much, yeah, some characters that are familiar to people who played the first one are clearly going to die. And I think that's what drives the story here. It's a bit like when, I guess in a way, you guys know Destiny 2, which was not a very popular game. Until Forsaken came out when they killed Cayde 6 off. Where a majority of the Destiny community actually came back just for that. Because they killed Cayde, the best character in the series. And I feel like, because you can obviously tell that someone's going to die in this, it's bringing back a lot of people who might not have actually wanted to play the game.
I can't say I resonate with the logic behind the Cayde thing. If they kill the only character worth playing the game for, that's the point I uninstalled.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that Cayde was the best character. It was that Cayde was the only likable character.
No, I'm going to disagree with that one. There's some new ones that are quite good, actually.
Oh, you're a fan of Eververse, are you, Callum?
Nobody's a fan of Eververse. And Eververse isn't a person. It's a horrible, disgusting microtransaction system. But anyway, we're not talking about Destiny, we're talking about The Last of Us. But I feel like it's going to be the driving force of this game is revenge. Which I think a lot of people
So what's all the all-round ratings? Justin, what was yours? I can't remember.
I gave it 10. Yeah.
10.
10. I gave it a 10.
And I gave it an 8.
Jason, you said what?
Yeah, no, I'll stick with my 8.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I get the great parts of it, but again, You know, the one thing I'm just trying not to overhype it based on the story alone. You know, because it is.
I don't know. I mean, I think I think myself as a visionary for gaming, and I think games tell a story in no way a movie can ever can.
You're very true, very right about that, mate. That's why there's still there's like a 50 rand indie game that I give to basically anyone who will listen to me talk about it for more than a minute.
Is it to the moon?
It's to the moon.
Yeah.
It's literally an 8-bit game and still one of the best stories I've ever seen in gaming.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is called Memories of Celceta. I just need to quickly find what it's about for you because I've just lost it on my list here. There we go. So this is actually a remaster of a older game. So it says here the old one came out in February 2014. It is an action role-playing game developed by Nihon Falcom. The game was originally released for the PlayStation Vita in Japan in September 2012, and later in North America by Xseed Games in November 2013. Well, yeah, 2013, and in PAL regions by NIS America in February 2014. So it's obviously been remade and moved about quite a bit. Now the remaster is being released on PS4. It looks very anime, and here is the trailer.
Do you know the name Adol Christin?
So that was that. Does anybody else feel like that should have stayed on the Vita?
I was about to say that. That looks like a bloody Vita game.
Forget that it just stayed on the Vita, mate. That was as cookie cutter JRPG anime style games come.
It doesn't get more JRPG than RPG than that.
The one thing I'd like to throw out there is if they can't be asked to voice act the trailer, then I'm not going to play the game because I had to do so much reading in I should not have to read the story in the trailer.
I couldn't read that font. I don't know about you.
But Justin, the English voices are never as good as the Japanese voices.
I'm the hero that's going to save the village.
It's bad. Yeah, I'd rather just not understand what he's saying, to be honest.
Well, that's a 3 from me.
I gave that a 4.
I'll give it a 2. No, I would never touch that game with a 10
I'm
foot
going
pole.
with a 2. I'm not going anywhere near that.
Okay. The next one, boys. Here's something light-hearted and fun. Okay.
I am excited for the next one. I have seen the next one.
Yeah, I put him in the playlist just so we can know everything here. So here's the next one. It is coming out on PC, PS4, Xbox, and the Switch, June 23rd. It is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which of course is a remaster.
Oh, go on then. Dispense the suspense.
Is it playing for you guys? Yeah.
How many remasters have we had?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
What is SpongeBob Sonic the Hedgehog now? Apparently. just gonna say while it's still fresh in your mind, Callum, that was just SpongeBob flavored Hat in Time.
Yes, but it's a remake of an old game.
Go on.
I thought, you know, they put more effort into the bloody grass than they did into the character models, to be honest. But I suppose they're going for that.
Those character models came straight from the Gmod community.
But okay, but imagine how terrifying it would be if you gave SpongeBob's holes a little bit of depth.
I took the wrong time to have a sip of my drink because I almost just spat that out.
Trypophobia is a thing.
No, fuck that. Keep that shit away from me. But it looks like a fun game. Maybe a not as good as copy of Hat in Time. But I suppose it's not a copy; it's a remake.
Yeah. But still, it's not a Hat in Time. And Hat in Time is charmed because it's a Hat in Time. This is
I have read that they have updated the actual old game system, so it actually runs and plays a lot better than the previous one, which is kind of expected from a remaster, obviously.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of like, yeah, it's a remake, not a remaster, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both actually.
Oh, fine,
but either way,
take my 6.5.
Yeah,
then.
6.5. Jason, I'm not putting halves in, mate. It's either 6 or a 7.
I'm not gonna give a SpongeBob game a 7. It's not gonna happen.
It can have a 6.
Either.
It can have a 6.
It can have a 6.
Right, for me, I'm gonna give that a 7. I'm gonna play it, but I feel like it's also gonna be one of those games where I play for a few hours. It's gonna be fun. Put it down for a bit until I get bored. Play it again. Pick it up.
Is it gonna be on PC?
Yes.
Okay, well, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait 3 months for it to pop up in Humble Bundle, then I'll pick it up.
Yep.
Now, I would also like to just point out here, boys. There are multiple editions of the game, physical editions of the game, right? And these editions come with a variety of different things, basically statues of the characters. The higher you go, the more statues you get. Now there is Sandy Squirrel, Patrick, and SpongeBob with a golden spatula, and Gary next to him. Now the very big edition of this game is called the Fun Edition, okay?
Does it come with the body pillow?
I'll tell you what you get. So you get the figure of Sandy, you get the figure of SpongeBob with his golden spatula, and you get Patrick figurine. Now you also get a set of 5 keyrings from the looks of this. You get some wall stickers. You obviously get the game, and you get 6 lithographs. But not only that, you also get SpongeBob's tennis socks.
How much?
£260.
That's an expensive pair of socks.
Hey ho!
No.
Hell no! Hey ho!
Imagine you've had a night drinking, right? And things go real well for you, real well. You pull this girl, and you go back to your place, you're gonna get hot and heavy, and she's on the bed, you're all having a good time, and then she turns over and sees your shrine to Patrick and fucking.
Well, yeah, obviously she's going to be down to bang after that.
No, it's once you take off your shoes and she sees them SpongeBob tennis socks that the real fun begins.
Either it's wife test right there, or you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, like if she's disgusted, then get out of it. If you don't like SpongeBob, I don't want you anyway.
I feel that encounter might go a little bit better if instead you just have a Patrick the Star body pillow on the bed.
Yeah, a full size, Patrick Star body pillow. Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm down. I can fuck with that.
I don't think you'd want to at that point.
What's your rating, Justin? We haven't heard yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 because I don't know, just looks like a simple platformer. I mean, don't get extra marks because it's a remaster. Gets less marks, if anything, I suppose. But I don't know.
Damn right.
But that's why I'm giving it 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Okay.
I give it a 6 out of 10 also, but I do want to play it kind of a little bit badly,
For the memes.
For the memes, yeah. There's so many freaking SpongeBob memes out there actually, and there's a lot of untapped meme potential now in this game also. So
SpongeBob looks like an SCP in this. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so we're ready for the next one then.
Yep.
So the next one is a Switch exclusive game. It is called Ninjala. Now, this game is a upcoming free-to-play multiplayer action video game being developed by Gung Ho Online Entertainment. It was unveiled at E3 2018. It was originally set to be released on May 27th, but obviously got delayed due to COVID-19 to June 24th. So that's the release date, June 24th for this game. It actually doesn't look too bad. And here is the trailer when it decides to play.
Will the real Master Ninja please stand up?
Oh no.
Oh, so you're the ultimate ninja, are you? Well then, prove it in battle. As one of 8 players, you must earn the most points to claim victory. Sprint across stages. And show off your gum ninjutsu like only you can. By chewing ninja gum, you can dash at high speeds.
What type of fucking magical gum is that?
Willy Wonka's gum, is that?
And
It's,
wield an arsenal of skills.
I mean, I think an
And speaking of
is
arsenals,
illegal, but I think it can find
from
you
heady-hitting hammers to fast and flashy katanas to tactical tricked-out yo-yos.
Dude, this
Your
guy
choice of equipment could
couldn't
mean the
be more
difference
excited if
between
he tried.
domination and defeat. Ninjas thrive in clans, so cement your supremacy in 4-on-4 team battles that prove ninjas are most clever when they work
hi,
together.
Hanzo.
They need to work
Will
on
your
their
efforts end
presentation.
in gummy disaster? Or prove you're the master? When Ninjala sneaks up on Nintendo Switch May 27th. And
Ninjala,
hey,
not
it's free to play too.
Ninjala.
It sounds better as Ninjala. They should have kept that.
Ninjala.
I was thinking Ninjago.
That was a
you know,
solid
the,
4,
the
thank you
concept.
very much.
Okay. It looks like a little bit of fun for a party game. I definitely wouldn't pay for this. They can work on their presentation for sure. And now the voice there was, I think, the most uninterested human being I've ever heard in my life.
That voice is, please kill me now. I'm being held hostage.
Okay,
to
just a
make
quick
this trailer."
question. Who's Handsome Mouse?
That's me.
Click on my name. I've changed it to Disturbed Zebra Shark, and just give me the host control again, please. But yeah, okay, so what are we giving Ninjala as ratings? Because that is a free-to-play game, so clearly I think they're going for the same...
Okay, that bumps it up a bit. That bumps it up a bit.
So they're going for, like, I guess, Splatoon vibes, and it's on the Switch, so it's very
Or it just
childish.
makes it more AIDS. So depending on your view on free-to-play games, you know.
So do you think they'll be very, like, it will be very microtransaction heavy? Because obviously you saw there was a lot of characters there, and a lot of weapons. Do you think you'd have to actually unlock the weapons and buy them? Because if that's the case, that's kind of AIDS, right?
Have you ever played PlanetSide?
No, I can't say I have.
And listen,
If
this
you
is
wanna
very
look at, like,
clearly
the
a
most-
kid's game.
The most AIDS of AIDS free-to-play mechanics. I think there's one where you could, like, they'd like loan you weapons for a while.
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and say I think it's pretty scummy if they're gonna have microtransactions in a kid's game, because kids are very susceptible to, you know, those micro purchases. Oh, it's so small, and they just keep buying more and more
Jason
and more
calls
and more.
out the entire mobile industry.
Yeah, no, that we basically just looked at a mobile game trailer. You know, if that's the case, if there's gonna be microtransactions like that in it, then that's that's not lekker.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you there, Jason. If I'm honest with you,
Yeah, I agree with you
I'm
there
gonna
as
give
well,
I'm gonna give it a 6. Like I like
generous.
yeah, I'm being generous. I do like the concept of it. I mean, I wouldn't pay for a game like that, so I'm kind of glad it's free to play. But depending on how they do things, because you know free to play titles are not the best, and this is targeted at kids. Yeah, it's gonna be a 6 because I like the idea, I like the concept, and I like the colors and the design of it. Like the visual design is very nice.
I have to agree. They just like I said,
the colors.
they couldn't have made me less excited for a game if
I'll
they
get
wanted
you.
to. Like don't tell me what you can do in the game. Just show me. Just do it and show me.
Yep.
And make it look cool while you're at it. So
Okay, so what's everyone giving it?
It's gonna lose a point or 2 there for me. But otherwise, I give it a 4. I would have given it a 6 if it had been not free to play. I'm not a huge fan of them because I've burned way more money than I'd like to admit on free to play games.
Yeah.
And second, yeah, the announcement trailer was just terrible.
All right, Jason and Justin. What about you guys?
Yeah, you heard my 4.
4.
I think 6 is fair. You know, I mean, looks like a fun free-to-play game. Just mostly goes off the business model they do, like Jason says. Well, it shouldn't be a pay-to-win business model anyway. If it is a pay-to-win business model, it immediately gets a 0 in my eyes. But
okay, so the next game is releasing June 25th. Comes out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It is Hunting Simulator 2. So the description they have on Steam is, with your hunting dog by your side, explore the Texan desert and forests of Colorado and Europe as you track down 33 animal species. Choose your gear from over 160 official weapons, accessories, and clothing items, including Browning, Winchester, and Bushnell. And this is the trailer right here. again when it decides to play. This is very... I hate this sync thing. Is it playing for anyone else or is it just refusing?
No, the loading bar says that only I, handsome mouse, am having troubles, apparently.
Oh, so it'll play after you then?
If I just press play, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Hunting Simulator 2. In this simulation game, you can go hunting for a wide range of different animals in 6 huge nature reserves, each with unique characteristics. There are 3 different environments to explore in the game, each with 2 hunting reserves. The first ones you encounter are in Colorado. Roam the trails of Roosevelt National Forest or the plains of Pawnee National Grassland. But Colorado is not the only hunting terrain available. You'll also be able to wander parts of Texas and certain areas of Europe. There are 33 different animal species to hunt in the game, each found in its natural habitat. From
I'm not being funny, boys. I hope the turkey does not count as one of those 33.
Different types are there to be found.
We've included
males and females for each species, as well as juveniles and older animals, especially for big game, to ensure the fauna you come across is as diverse as possible.
If a rabbit counts as well, I'm leaving.
Has been completely redesigned since the first game to provide an even more realistic experience.
Okay, but look at the way that bear
Maybe you'll
moves, my
encounter a
goodness.
predator hunting prey of its own. In Hunting Simulator 2, your hunting skills will be put to the test while tracking. Thankfully, you have a faithful companion at your side to help you find the tracks of prey, including footprints, flattened vegetation, and droppings. Give your dog the right commands so they can lead you in the best direction.
That earns it a 10 out of 10 right there.
When you're the right distance from your prey, command your dog to wait while you take your time to carefully approach your target. Aim well. The better placed your shot, the more credits you'll receive for your trophy. You can use these credits to buy new hunting licenses, a new dog, or new weapons.
A new dog?
The right weapon is crucial to the hunting experience.
Yeah, just the beagle's fine.
In Hunting Simulator 2,
My
you
God,
can
what are you
build
gonna do?
your
Shoot it
hunting
with an
kit
AR?
with over 90 weapons and accessories.
What?
All the top brands are available,
Must be an
including
American
Winchester, Bushnell,
Oh, it definitely
Barrett and
is.
Bear Archery. For clothing, choose from a wide selection of items made by Browning, Vernie Karen, and Cryptek to customize your character from head to toe.
I'm sorry, if you really cared about all these different accessories, you'd be buying them and not playing them in a game.
For more information on Hunting Simulator 2.
I could see the appeal
next
to this. I
time.
mean, not
Hold
everybody's...
on, Ian, I've got to stop you there for a second, mate. What the hell was
okay.
that? Ah! It just came out of nowhere.
Listen, going through puberty all over again, it's not fun. It's not
This
fun.
is the game that Ron Swanson plays during his quarantine.
So
I could play this game.
So your brother said the turkey ain't gonna count for 1, but the 8 subspecies of turkey will probably each count.
Yeah. There's multiple. He's correct.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and say that probably half asleep playing PUBG would be a lot more entertaining than this.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
If
for
you
that,
want to play a hunting sim game, you can just go play Red Dead Redemption or Far Cry 5, and you know.
Okay, so they're offering a completely different experience, Jason. You obviously aren't the target audience for this.
Yeah,
game,
no,
so
I
can see
get
you're
that. They're
disinterested.
going for the realistic simulation
Jason,
of the hunting.
I've played a hunting simulator before that was a lot more in depth than Red Dead Redemption and Far Cry, and I can see the appeal. The only problem is I thought it was boring.
Yeah, well, you spend 2 hours tracking down this deer to shoot and then miss, and then it runs away. So...
That's the point. You have to
You have to
the
really
one
be
I
into
played,
it.
you have to choose your spot. You have to prepare for it, lay your bait down and everything. I mean, it's not my sort of thing, but I can definitely see the appeal, and you can see a lot of effort's gone into the game. I think. I don't think you can deny that.
I can't deny that, but let me make a comparison case here, right? No one goes to all this effort for nothing. Don't mean making the game, I mean playing it. The effort of hunting a creature that ought to hunt for nothing. And as you saw, they do it for the trophies, right? Now, at least in an MMO, those trophies are all your fancy shinies that you're constantly walking around with and boasting to everyone. How are you supposed to show off all of this stuff?
This is 100% multiplayer though. 100%. I know the hunter is.
Is it?
I chatted to Hadame. We were drunk one night and we were like, not really joking about buying the hunter. I can't remember what it's called. The Hunter Call of the Wild, I think. And playing that while drunk because it sounded like a really good time.
Yeah, your brother also said you used to play the Hunter. Hunting games are pretty boring.
Yeah, so like I said, it appeals to a very particular kind of person. I mean,
So it's a bit like
in flight simulators.
in
Not just flight simulators. It's one called DCS, and it literally takes you like 20 minutes to start up a bloody jet. Never mind the learning how to start it up and then fly it. It's a very particular kind of.
Yeah, so it's a niche within a niche, a bit like Tour de France.
Yeah. And I've met people that have played Tour de France. Actually,
I wouldn't say it's quite on Tour de France because Tour de France does just look shit. Like, even if I was in cycling games, I'd think twice about buying Tour de France.
I wouldn't even think twice. That wouldn't just... You'd stare at it once and throw up a little bit and then cover your kids' eyes so they don't have to look at it.
However, I'm going to give Hunting Simulator 2 a 7 out of 10. I'd give it an 8 because it does look really well made, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an 8 because in the context of, I want to say, hunting simulator games, it looks a lot better than anything else out there right now. But I'm not super knowledgeable on the hunting simulator genre.
I'm going to give it a 7 because props to you guys for pointing out it is not my type of game, true that. And for a simulator for the niche audience they're going for, it does look pretty good. But I feel like if you're going to dedicate an entire game to that level of simulation, there should be more to the actual gameplay. Now, I'm not suggesting they make it like a survival game, but at least some kind of, you need the right gear appropriate for the climate, and you've got a camp, and you've got a journal tracking your animal.
As a concept, though, I mean... So now you go on a hunting trip that's going to take you a week out in what's some national park. I don't know if you can hunt in national parks in America actually, but somewhere where you can hunt. And in that time, I mean, you can prep some food, but you can hunt, get food, do all that. That sounds pretty cool actually. But
if you do that, though, you're setting yourself for speedrunners to make a mockery of your game. But then again, they do that with every game, don't they?
Oh yes.
Okay. So Jason, what are you giving it?
I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I feel like they could expand upon the game mechanics themselves a bit more than Beagle shows you animal and you shoot it.
I don't think it's going to be as simple as that, though. But I mean, maybe the Beagle's a bit of a cop-out. They could have made it more complicated than just
But
dog.
see, if it was more complicated than that, they would have talked about their fancy, complicated mechanics.
Yeah, they would have definitely showed it off. Yeah.
There was paw prints.
There was paw prints and poo, Ian.
That's in Warframe hunting. We have the same
and then after they talk about poo, they start petting the dog. You just
fair enough. Like I guarantee you, there'll be stuff like, say, scratches on trees where there's like a bear, and there'll be a difference between if there's been a bear there recently or not recently.
And do you know what's going to be underneath those scratches?
I hope so.
More poo.
Like it has to be more complex than Warframe's animal conservation. Is all I'm saying.
What you have to do is you find the food and you rub it on yourself to mask your scent, and then you go and hunt the animal.
I like your way of thinking, Justin.
Or you play Call of Duty because the most dangerous game is man.
Oh, bloody hell. Alright, Jason, you're fired. Right, okay, so we're going to move on. The next one is a 2002 puzzle video game developed and published in Japan by Namco, the GameCube. And now it's on the Switch. It's finally coming to the West. On the actual Nintendo.com page, it says here, the popular action puzzle game Mr. Driller DrillLand makes its Western debut on Nintendo Switch. You're invited to a secret amusement park known as DrillLand, 500 meters underground. Explore and conquer the 5 attractions with simple yet exciting gameplay that guests of all ages can enjoy.
Press play to doubt.
Right, Jason, you're gonna have to click play again, I think, mate.
Look at me, I'm the captain now.
Have you pressed play? There we go.
Yep.
Oh, so full screen stopped working, so I'm gonna have to refresh.
And return the depths of the earth once more. An addictive action puzzle game from the Mr. Driller. It's coming to Nintendo Switch. Mr. Driller DrillLand. A secret underground theme park known as DrillLand awaits. Get ready to go on an exciting drilling adventure. DrillLand features 5 attractions with different clear conditions. Conquer each attraction with a mighty drilling spirit. Break through colorful blocks to reach the farthest goal underground. Underground work is full of danger, so don't forget to replenish your air supply by collecting air capsules along the way. Watch out for falling rocks and blocks. Luckily, these characters are all underground work professionals. Select from 6 drilling pros who are certified by the Driller Council.
I feel like they needed to fucking specify that they were certified drillers. I mean,
Let's go!
I need to see some licensing here.
Imagine that when you play the game and then they show you the little card before you can play with them.
Goodness gracious.
Oh my goodness.
With the Nintendo
Oh,
Switch,
multiplayer.
you can play
Okay.
on the couch or on the go. Play
Oh
with up to
no.
4 players
Is this a
using
Japanese candy
drop-downs.
ad?
I don't know. Looks
Yeah,
terrible.
this is
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Candy Crush.
For those who want a
It's-
relaxing time, casual mode has
We spoke
been
earlier
added.
about niche games
Play
for
happily
particular kinds of
according to your
people.
level.
No, this doesn't count. This doesn't count. Callum, you're forbidden from making these lists. You need to send them to an
Mr.
approval
Driller
committee.
DrillLand, available June 25th, 2020.
I'm firing myself after that.
That said, more fun for everyone.
Right, I'm
And I don't
refreshing my
believe a word
character
of it.
thing. Right, I'm now. Jason, keep
Okay,
hosts.
last time I made you room owner. I'm gonna make you OP and see if that's better this time because
We should.
Right, okay,
I'm gonna
so
make you owner as well.
yeah, it's just because full screen stopped working, so I just had to do it. So your brother says that was pretty tame by Japanese advertisement standards. Personally, I'm going to give that a 2. I think that should have stayed on the GameCube
What's that
in
bloody racing game,
2002.
that Japanese racing game? It's super weird.
Somehow I know which one you're talking about, but also I have no clue.
Yeah, I haven't got a
I'm
clue
gonna
which one
find
New
the name
Zealand
now.
either. But yeah, I don't know who went out of their way to be like, Bandai Namco, please give us that. And Bandai Namco was like, yeah, sure, here you go.
You know,
yeah,
I'm gonna give that a 2 as well because I'm very worried at this rate that the Switch is becoming a mobile game device. Like, not just a game device which is mobile, but like literally mobile games.
Well,
Is all
this
the people are
this is
pushing
what I
for it
don't
now.
understand, Jason, right? So Bandai Namco are like, yes, this game was made on the GameCube in 2002, right? Let's bring it to the West now. 18 years later, let's update the graphics, let's push it to the Switch. Everyone's been asking for this for 18 years. No, nobody's been asking for this game. If you're going to make a game like Blue Protocol, because that's also fucking published by Bandai Namco, and loads of people from the West want that game as it is, and they're like, yeah, we've got no plans, sorry guys, no official statements to say, other than we might do it. And they're like, right, you know what you do want instead of those type of games? Mr. Driller DrillLand. Do you know
From now
how,
on, you'll get.
do you know
you're
how
gonna put these
disappointed
lists
I
for an
am?
Approval committee. Callum.
Mate, they need to put their fucking games for an approval committee, because I do not think I know one person who owns a Switch and is going to be like, yes, Mr. DrillLand, I want a game 18 years ago in the West.
Is it Corwin?
I don't even think Corwin would. I don't even think
I'll have
that.
you know, Callum, I'm gonna go and buy a Switch especially for Mr. Driller DrillLand.
I'll get
Just
you,
because
and I'll make it look like a bloody accident. That was just horrendous. So Justin, Ian, what are you giving that?
A solid 2. You know, it's good considering. I mean, what is the scale anyways? What is a 1?
Shit.
What is the worst game to have ever existed?
Well, that's BFF.
Big rigs over the road racing by some standards.
No. It's either.
Whoa.
We're entering dangerous territory now, Jason. That's a divisive topic right there.
That is a controversial statement because no matter what you say, whilst Big Rigs Over the Road Racing is bad, you can enjoy Big Rigs Over the Road Racing.
Can you enjoy this?
Actually, you know, I think it was Big League
No.
Baseball 20. I forget now. One of those things. One of
All of
those.
them?
One of that one made like worst game of all time.
And there was that motorbike one. That might actually be the worst game of all time.
What about Desert Bus?
Desert Boss.
Yeah, it's that game where to complete you just drive along through the desert for like 8 hours.
Yeah, but that's a social commentary. I'm certain of it. It's the one where you have to drive from somewhere to Las Vegas, isn't it?
Now, Ian.
Yeah.
I've just press sticked a chain with a magnet on it to my cupboard because I've got a wireless headset and I'm fiddling with things while we're doing the stream. And I'm pretty sure I could call this a social commentary and sell it to someone for at least $1.
Yes. I think Desert Bus redefines the concept of game, right?
Yeah.
Right, so I'd just like to point out, your brother just said, to be fair, it's probably dirt cheap and aimed at children. Now, that game is, well, 3,520 Japanese yen, which translates to about £26.46. I wouldn't pay a tenner for that.
Oh no! To the
I
hell
wouldn't
no!
pay
Wait, how
two
much?
cheeseburgers.
£26.46 if you translate it.
Not a chance would I pay that much for that. Oh my goodness.
Not a chance of this!
I hate you,
So Justin, what are you rating that?
Okay, after finding out the price, I'm going to a 1.
Yeah,
out of
I'm also
10.
dropping my score to a 1. I mean, if that was like, you know, £5.
I'm gonna keep my 2 because it can't be worse than that biking game. Nothing is worse than Tour de France.
Okay, so we'll move on because we need to get through this and we've got a couple of games left. So we're almost there, boys. Okay, so the next one here... Oh shit, am I on the right one? I think I am, yeah. So the next one is called The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 3. It's being released on the Switch June 30th. I think it's actually already out on other consoles and other platforms. So I can see here Steam also has it. Steam is £50 for this game. So I don't expect it to be that much on the Switch, or at least I hope it wouldn't be on the Switch. That'd be expensive as hell. But anyway, the
Switch games are really expensive though.
Yeah, the recent reviews for this game are overwhelmingly positive with 127 reviews. So let's full screen and hit that play button. Oh, did that just restart for anyone else?
I just pressed play.
Oh.
It might have had something to do with that.
Oh no. Wait for generic JRPG combat. Wait for it. Wait for it.
100% turn-based.
There it is.
Told you.
And one for me. Oh no, you don't. Stop right there. Got it.
Leave it to me. Why are all Japanese RPG games? Why do they all have the same trailer?
I can't remember what we gave the last one for not having voice acting, but this is getting a 4 for having voice acting.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was thinking 4. 4 sounds about right from me.
How much you can actually speak Japanese? Like, we joked about how awkward these things sound in English. Like,
I would rather have it in Japanese with English subtitles.
Okay, but like as someone as a Japanese speaker, I assume it is also like just as awkward and cheesy.
Hey Pikachu, we're gonna catch a new Pokemon!
So Ian's brother said it sounds like the opening to at least 50% of isekai anime.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And it does, yeah.
Correct.
Which is the worst part because I like isekai anime and I actually like the music to that. So I'm feeling a bit personally attacked, to be honest, with these poor boys.
You should feel bad.
I was gonna give it a 6. I think people who enjoy the games obviously would like that. Obviously this is like the third one, and also Steam reviews are overwhelmingly positive. And this is now coming to the Switch, so obviously for Switch users, they'll enjoy that. So it's a 6 for me because I'm not going to go out my way and buy it. If I probably was into it, I'd probably give it an 8. But it's going to be a 6 for me. I'm not going to go buy the game. I'm not going to play it. But I also appreciate the fact that it's a fan favorite of those who have played it.
You know, if you like JRPGs, you like JRPGs. I just happen to fall into that it's not niche. It's half of humanity that hates JRPGs. So. I suppose the only JRPG I've ever liked in my life is Dark Souls, because that's technically a JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
It's an RPG and it was made in Japan, which is the bare minimum criteria. So I give it a 5 if I liked it. I mean, obviously it's got overwhelming reviews. It's probably not a bad game.
No,
deserves a high score.
So we are missing your review. Ian, what's your review? Your score? 5. Okay, so the next one is another deck building roguelike, apparently.
The next one is one that's high on my Steam wishlist, is what it is.
So the next one is Griftlands. It's supposed to come out in June some point, but I believe it's the actual early access release in June. I think the full game is meant to be out a month later. So Griftlands is a deck building roguelite where you negotiate, fight, steal, or otherwise persuade others to get your way. Every decision is important, be it the jobs you take, the friends you make, or the cards you collect. Death comes quickly, but each play offers new situations and strategies to explore. Google users have 87% like this video game apparently to that. Now, I have seen this game picking up a bit of pace on Steam because obviously a couple of content creators have access to this game and actually played it all over the place. So we're gonna. I'm gonna just refresh quickly because I can.
You do have to say who's behind this as well.
Who is
the same people that are responsible for Oxygen Not Included, Mark of the Ninja.
Right, that's a pretty good resume so far.
Invisible Ink, Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh, Don't Starve Together as well.
Yep.
And Don't Starve. Yeah, it's Clay Entertainment. Is that how you say it? Oh, yeah.
And what really struck me about this game, I remember at the E3 reveal, was that it was very... it felt kind of like a Supergiant Games game in the way they approached it, so I'm super keen.
Okay, well, I'm going to click play on the trailer. Okay, someone who's got the host, because I just had to restart. You're going to have to do it again. There we go.
I've heard about this game before.
You getting Pyre vibes, Justin?
Definitely, yeah.
But these guys have a rather unique system for their conversations, being that having a conversation with someone and fighting someone work exactly the same mechanically. So I think, plus points for creating an almost abstract system for conversations. I think it's a really unique, cool idea.
Yeah,
definitely worth picking up. And this gets a 9 for me actually.
A 9.
I'd say the same, 9 for me, and I've just gone a bit squinty-eyed because I'm squinting at the release date there, and it says Epic Games Store. Now I know on the Steam store I have open right in front of me here because, like I said, this game is currently pretty high on my wish list, and I see there it also says June 2020 release. But usually what they do is they say June 2020. Then when it releases on the Epic Store, that becomes a 21 at the end there, and I really hope that's not the case.
Well, this is what I've heard, Jason, because I had a look at this game earlier. They said that early access comes to Steam on June, and then the full game comes out in July. So I don't know why it says the alpha July 11th there, so maybe it's just a playtest for them, maybe, I don't have a clue there, but I believe that early access is meant to be available to Steam users on June, well, in June at some point.
Okay, so this is not a Epic exclusive. I'm a happy man. I'll keep my 9.
And what about you? What about you, Justin?
I'm gonna go for 9 as well because, like Jason says, straight away reminds me a lot of Supergiant games. The animation looks fantastic. The RPG elements look pretty great. I don't know. The combat system doesn't really look like my sort of thing, but it does look very. I don't know. Kind of reminds me. The game overall reminds me kind of like Darkest Dungeon, but it's probably a lot more forgiving.
Yeah.
If you played, actually, it's kind of a deck building. I think deck building game. Similar to,
yeah, it looked like it.
Slay the Spire.
Similar to Slay the not quite as dynamic as that. That's a roguelike, or roguelite, or whatever they call it these days. So I think it's got more persistent RPG mechanics in that sense. Yeah, I think it looks great.
That's very good, very good. So the next game is a game called Maid of Sker. Flipping, I have to just delete some stuff here. It says Maid of Sker is a first-person survival horror set in a remote hotel with a gory and macabre history for British folklore. Brave the nightmares of the quiet ones, do not panic, don't even breathe. And it's from Wales Interactive. Publisher is also Wales Interactive. Alright. Oh, flipping hell, let me just reload my page again. Internal error. Brilliant. Join.
Do you want me to just press play?
Right, there you go. You press play, you press play. Did you click play? Oh, I forget I have to click it as well, don't I?
Yeah, it's a bit whack.
Okay, straight off the bat, that music vibes though.
You see there's reflections on the floor there, actually.
Ooh, that's a chill down my spine, that.
Well, damn.
That looks good.
After that initial setup, I was not gonna lie. While it still looks good, I'm a little disappointed to find that it seems to, at least from what they've shown us, it seems to just be like Outlast, sort of, you know, hold your breath and hide.
Yeah, it seems a bit generic, doesn't it?
And I don't know if they're gonna actually be able to do it like this, but or not quite weird, but the realistic hand interactions with the world. So when he's busy chilling behind the tombstone over there, how on earth, in a gameplay sense, are they going to get that right?
Well, we saw that type of thing in the trailers for We Happy Few as well, and that didn't make gameplay. That was just a trailer thing. So
It's a bit
maybe
disappointing if it's not going to be in the game, because I would love to. I think it helps with immersion when you actually have a sense of presence of yourself. It looks real good. I'm too much of a bitch to play it because you know.
Same.
Oh, same.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for how it looked.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 or so. Feel pretty confident with that one.
I'm going to give it an 8 just because it's dipping its toe in a quite a unique genre, I think, and not many horror games out there, and it looks pretty good.
Sorry, Justin, you said you're giving it an 8.
Yeah.
What was everyone else giving it? Sorry.
7.
Yeah, I agree with the 7. I liked the music, and I liked the vibe the music set up. But yeah, I kind of agree with Jason. Like, it does look like unique horror gameplay, which kind of lowers it for me. No, not unique. I said it looks like generic gameplay.
Generic. Yeah, never mind.
You definitely said unique.
Sorry, I meant generic in my head. Sorry. But yeah, it looked like very generic horror gameplay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, like I recently watched someone stream literally in a row Outlast and then Alien Isolation, and like the whole hide from the thing that you can very clearly see by standing still and making no sounds.
But can't kill.
Yeah, it's getting a bit old
It's
now.
Horror 101 these days, at least. That precedent that Amnesia set back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining me tonight, Jason. I'm glad we got through all the games. There was a heavy list of games tonight. And thanks for Justin and Ian for joining and replacing Hermé.
Wait, how come you thanked me second?
Oh, sorry, Justin. Hold on. Thanks, Justin. Thanks for joining tonight, mate. Much appreciated.
So now you're thanking me second.
You can fuck right off. Like I said, it's been a heavy games list to go through, but there's lots of new games coming out in June. It's been a lot of fun looking at some of these really shit games, and also finding the top 5 games of June.
Yeah, we got some good picks.
The thing I'm gonna miss most about E3 this year is the awkward moment compilations.
No, dude, that's still gonna happen.
You
I can
still
tell
have
you that right
Minecon
now.
For that. Anyway,
you think? Are they still going ahead with the online
User
conference?
left your channel.
Well, that's the only person who knows Ian, and he's just left.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, I guess I'm off then too. Cheers.
Yes, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you all for watching and joining. No worries, Ian. Thanks for being here. And we shall see you next time for the show, which will be Games of July, actually. Yeah, Games of July will be the next episode of this. So see you all later. Bye.